What a pleasant surprise. The Phillies won a series, and we get to react to it.
Love that.
Celebrate it today. We also get to talk about the Eagles as they look to repeat as Super Bowl champions. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
This is Kincade and Salciunas.
Center field issues, bringing in another left-handed bat, Max Kepler, who hasn't been relevant in 6 years, getting older in a lot of positions. They could have improved on that multiple different times, and yet here we are now relying on another trade deadline in a month and a half.
This team is something wrong with it. And what I'm seeing about is one of the highest payroll teams in baseball playing like absolute crap, which is unacceptable.
Kincade and Salciunas. John Kincade, Andrew Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
And a good Thursday morning, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salciunas alongside my man, John Kincade. Johnny, happy, pleasant Wendy's Thursday.
And a good morning to you. How are you this morning?
Great. Phillies won yesterday.
They
Phillies
did.
took 2 of 3 over the Chicago Cubs.
And they're good, too, by the way. Like, really good road team, the Cubs.
Yeah. So,
And a good baseball team in general.
Phillies now 39-29, back to 10 games over 500 after taking 2 of 3 in front of the out of the Cubs. Nice crowd yesterday at Citizens Bank Park.
42, I think they said 42-5.
Yeah, for a Wednesday 1 o'clock game. Wednesday, like it wasn't a Friday business person special. It was a Wednesday midweek business person special. Nice crowd yesterday. So clearly people are still interested enough in going. It's just whether or not they believe in this baseball team. And I want to start this off right away with something that you emailed us yesterday for some topic discussion. I want you to dive right into it, John. The grousing over losses to the Pirates, which I get, man. When you get swept by the Pirates,
We did.
you should.
It was a terrible series.
Yeah, you should absolutely rip the Phillies, especially when it was a bad stretch, right? They had dropped 6 of 7 before that series against the Pirates. So you thought, all right, here's a nice little get right piece, feel good series, and then you get swept.
I got fooled.
Yeah. It was embarrassing, and then so that means you drop 9 of 10, but you bounce back against the Cubbies.
Yeah, and what I'd like to just say again, and it's sort of like yesterday when I brought up that the Mets a year ago were 8 games under 500 on yesterday's date and came back and whooped the Phillies' backsides in the postseason. We don't know what's going to happen in the second week of June, but you've already won the season series against the Cubs,
who are 14 games over 500.
You've won 2 series against the Cubs, who you could face in the postseason. They're going to be they look like they're going to be a division champ. They are leading the Central. And you've won your only series against the Dodgers. So when we grouse about a sweep of the Pirates, which you should be embarrassed by that.
Yeah.
You got to bring up the fact that the division leading West Dodgers, the division leading Central Cubs, you're 3-0 in series against those 2 teams.
Yeah.
You've won all 3 series there. So there is balance to the conversation that always will be brought up on this show.
Yeah, and that's why
we will always talk about both things.
Yeah, and that's why there's to me the misconception of, well, they can't beat any good teams. They only beat bad teams.
That's where that is completely false.
Like that great stretch of winning that they went on before the 9 of 10 that they lost, yes, those were against bad teams. But that does not mean that before that stretch they hadn't beat any good teams. To your point, Dodgers, Cubs, they won those series. And the Giants, who are 40-28, you split a 4-game series with. The Phillies are a better team, so we shouldn't totally celebrate a split. But they've played well.
I think split with the Giants is okay considering the team that they are.
Yeah, that's true. But they've played well against good teams, too.
They have.
And that's why I keep on saying not only last year's playoff series against the Mets, but the series this season against the Mets where you got swept put such a bad stain on what the Phillies have been able to accomplish so far this year. People keep on pointing to that series as, hey, you lost that one. That means you can't beat any good teams.
Well, you want to take the sting out of that? Take it out next weekend.
Yeah.
Next weekend, you get your chance. So it's a great chance for you to be able to make a statement that says, we are a different team this year. We'll take it out on the Mets next weekend.
Absolutely.
See what they can do.
So what I want to start off with today, and we got some Eagles stuff to get into, crazy day in the NBA with rumors that we'll get to later on the show. We got some great guests today. But when it comes to the Phillies, after dropping 9 of 10, it was a little rough here. There were people that made the point to say that they're not a playoff team. That's why we did a segment literally to say whether or not we believe they're still a playoff team. You, me, B-Gun all said yes. This was before Connor came back. This was also before getting swept by the Pirates. So
when Connor found our text numbers.
Yeah, when he finally came back. when the Phillies got swept by the Pirates, that they're not going to make the playoffs voice got louder for a lot of people.
It did, and those people could still be true.
Who knows?
It's not like the Phillies are in strong position to make the playoffs right now. They're in a dogfight.
Yeah, I mean they're
literally
what season ends today. They're
there.
Not even.
No, they're
yeah,
there.
sorry,
Right?
they're one of the
right
wild
there.
card teams
Yeah.
because the Giants are ahead of them. The Padres are right behind them.
Right. I mean, it's a tough spot for the playoffs right now. It's not like it's a lock.
Right.
I think the Giants come back to earth a little bit. I think the Padres are really good. So,
Yes.
I think things are going to shake out, but it's a long season.
It's a long season.
Who knows what's going to happen with other teams? And who knows what's going to happen with us, considering some of the, I would say, fudgy stuff that's going on with injuries around the Phillies right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Now,
a lot
I feel
of
like the
things to
Sixers
keep an eye
medical
on.
staff has joined the Phillies. I got to be honest with you. From my day at the ballpark yesterday, and I'll share it in the course of the day today, I'm a little confused about what's going on with the Phillies, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, it's funny. Last week on Friday, after I did when I filled in for Freddie Coleman, I then popped in with Kevin Cooney because he was on the air.
Sure.
And Kevin goes, "Doesn't it feel like the Phillies medical staff is quickly turning into the Sixers medical staff?"
Yeah, something
he said
seems-
not as drastic, but still very questionable. The wording, the decision making.
I'm going to tell you this. I heard things yesterday from Cubs people that led me to believe wow, I'm hearing more from Cubs people than I've heard from Phillies people.
But
I'll share it.
There's a difference between the Phillies and the Sixers. If you deliver a healthy Phillies team to the postseason, they've proven they can make it somewhere.
That is the truth.
That's true.
That is the truth.
That's a great point, Connor.
Good job, Connor.
So, do you believe the Phillies are sort of back to being the team, not that we expected to see, right? Because even though we pointed out flaws, pointed out roster construction, pointed out things that we weren't really feeling all that good about, I don't think anybody thought there was going to be a 9-10 stretch where they lost 9 of 10. But they just won a good series against the Cubs. So do you believe they're sort of back where they're going to make that turn and all of a sudden things will get a little bit better?
Well, the Jays coming in this weekend is a great test because
especially after you just lost 2 of 3 to them.
And they are a really, really good baseball team, too. They're playing good ball. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball.
Yeah, they're second place in their division.
But the Cubs
and they're
were
playing,
good, too.
They're in the same division as the Yankees, who are on fire. So if you're not at that point where you say they're not back yet, what more do you need to see? Because I know a 1-9 stretch, which included getting swept by the Pirates, is going to hurt a lot of people mentally when it comes to this Phillies team. So what do you think, before we get to our text messages and have people chime in, because I'm going to imagine more people will lean toward the negative than the positive in this conversation. What do you believe people will need to see to say, all right, this team is back, this team has turned things around?
I think next weekend's going to go a long way to it. If the Phillies win next weekend's series against the Mets, take 2 out of 3 and look good doing it, I think a lot of people will be like, okay, they beat the Jays this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play the Mets next weekend. I forget the series in between.
Marlins.
Okay, they get 4 with the Marlins, right?
Yep.
Okay, win 3 out of 4 from the Marlins. Go in, win 2 out of 3 from the Jays. Win 3 out of 4 from the Marlins. Win 2 out of 3 from the Mets. I think everybody will be on board by the following Monday. It'll be like, okay, that was a blip on the radar. And you know what? At that point, I would think everybody would be saying, yeah, okay, the bump in the road is over.
Yeah, I would say that too.
They've corrected it.
But here's the deal. I think it would be imperative to win that series against the Mets. They could literally win 7 straight. And if they lost that series to the Mets, people won't be okay.
I don't blame them because you already got your backsides beaten by the Mets, all 3. So I wouldn't blame people for being like, no, go beat the Mets. That's a team you got to beat to win the division. And right now, by the way, you lost a 3.5-game lead and turned it into a 5-game deficit in 15 calendar days. I don't blame fans for saying, yeah, show me something.
Right. So
show me something.
Do you believe the Phillies are back, or at least heading in the right direction, or do you still need to see more? And if so, what is it that you need to see? You can text in, call in 610-632-0975. I did see something yesterday during this game that put a smile on my face, and hopefully we could see more of it. Also, we got to talk about Jesus Luzardo, who had a great outing after 2 pretty rough ones. And Alec Bohm had a really nice day.
He did.
And Johnny's got a question about him and his connection with the city. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
I have not been a huge Rob Thompson fan.
Here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. So a couple of things before we get to this Alec Bohm discussion, which could lead to some fun conversations off of it.
Alec Bohm, as our boy Gunner would say when you were out, Connor.
Oh, yeah, the accent?
Yeah,
Alec Bohm.
Strong accent.
Bohm. Home, Bohm.
It was good to see like a power surge from the Phillies yesterday. Speaking of Alec Bohm.
Boom.
He had a home run yesterday. Schwarber with the missile that he hit to right center.
That was a missile.
Castellanos like an inch away from it being a home run. He gets a triple off of it.
That ball was weird carrying yesterday, and then the winds were swirling.
But, hey, you know what? We've seen them also not lift the ball at all.
Sure.
Max Kepler with the double yesterday. Trey Turner with the double yesterday. So out of their 10 hits, they had 5 extra base hits, whereas the other day it was what? 12 hits and only 1 was an extra base hit, something like that?
10 hits, and I think they had 2 extra base hits.
So a couple more extra base hits yesterday. It shows you how much of a difference that can make. Whatever funk they were in, it wasn't necessarily they couldn't hit. It's just they had no pop. And that's this lineup, unfortunately, right now.
Cubs knew they had to score some runs yesterday going in.
They had that idea.
They knew, yeah. They
well, Ben
knew.
Brown struggled. We went through it off the air yesterday. Ben Brown, both starts against the Phillies, has been pretty bad.
I asked you yesterday, we bet in the over because of Luzardo's struggles. And
I said team over.
Then he came
I don't know
out.
what was the game over under. Do you know?
The game over under for the Phillies was 4.5. I think it was 4.5 for the 5.5 for the Phillies, 4.5.
Okay, but what was the total? Like
6.5? No, 7.5 for the game.
That's it.
I think it might have been. I forget because I looked at it. It was low.
But
it was lower than I expected.
So the Phillies get the power surge, and Luzardo. Speaking of Luzardo,
he was fantastic.
Was great. 6 innings, 5 hits, allowed 2 base runners in the very first inning of the game, and then just settled down.
And they were nothing.
Strikeouts. Yeah,
they were little.
Right.
You wiped the blood off the bat.
And he had 10 strikeouts yesterday. He was just absolutely spectacular. And so maybe it was just the tipping of the pitches. I saw, the Pitching Ninja account.
Sure.
They did a breakdown on how his glove was throwing the changeup the last 2 starts versus yesterday.
Okay.
He had different hand placement. Maybe it was just tipping the pitches.
Went to a bigger glove as well.
Okay.
Had the hand a little deeper in the glove. But we should have seen this coming. 2 bad starts where he looked dead, and then on the 3rd start, he rises.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that tweet like 600 times.
Ricky explained it. Ricky explained it really well on NBC Sports Philadelphia, and then they showed it yesterday. It was interesting, though, as I was talking to some Cubs players yesterday before the game, and 2 different Cubs people. Well, I was talking to one that I know, and then another Cubs player is like, I'm getting introduced to.
Johnny Cubby's over here.
Yeah, I was just happened to be talking to a Cub, and then I was introduced to another Cub, and I was asked, why did Thompson let Luzardo eat it like that in that game? Like, why did he do that to him? And I'm like, it's funny. We've talked about that on the air with our listeners, and people were like, well, what's the big deal? He had to get outs. And they're like, that was bullsh. Both players. That was bullsh.
Well, the Cubs were the weak team. That's why they dropped 2 of 3.
They couldn't get over it.
They dropped 2 of 3. I don't care what the Cubs
they're
players
like, you don't
say.
let that happen to your pitcher like that. You don't let it go like that. But it was a good day yesterday, and I'm glad for Jesus. He was. So
is that you was trying to dunk on me?
He was he was just in control. He was in control yesterday. I was happy for him.
I'm glad. I'm glad that you told us that story.
Topper.
At the other players around baseball.
Topper. No, this is Topper one. I didn't solicit it. It was like it just came right to me. But I will tell you this: we're going to get into discussion about this medical situation because I am wondering because you said Kevin Cooney brought it up.
Yes,
I am interested because Kevin Cooney is a wise guy as far as understanding sort of how reporting goes.
Yeah.
I literally just stumbled onto it yesterday, and I'm going, I'm not a reporter, and I'm stumbling onto it, so I'm sure the Phillies beat is onto it.
Yes, I'm sure they are, because it would be interesting to see when Bryce Harper comes back and who Bryce Harper is when he comes back.
And if we finally get an answer on what's going on with Bryce Harper.
Nice. We'll get that later on the 6 o'clock hour. But coming up next, so Alec Bohm had a really nice day yesterday.
He did.
2 for 4, runs scored, drove in 4, right? Just an incredible day, home run. It was nice to see him lift the ball. He can do it. Like, that home run was... Do more of that. Alec, you're 6'5". Like,
Yeah,
do
just
more
run
of
the
that.
home run play more often.
Do that more. I know you can do it. Alec Bohm had a nice day yesterday. John has a question about his connection with this city, and I've been thinking about it. We haven't gotten to it yet, so we'll start there. But, John, I'll be honest, I don't know how much connection there is with a lot of guys.
This is interesting because you spin it off. Let's say less, and we'll talk more about it, because yesterday there was something I noticed, and then I asked a couple other people to notice it too, and they noticed it too. And I'm going to tell you what I noticed with Alec Bohm.
We'll get into that coming up next. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies take 2 of 3 from the Cubs. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by Wendy's. With Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3 biggie bundles, you can choose the pair you want at participating U.S. Wendy's. The Phillies took the series from the Cubs with a bounce-back 7-2 win yesterday afternoon. Jesus Luzardo had a huge bounce-back start, going 6 innings of 1 earned ball, striking out 10 in the game. That's great to see from him. And Alec Bohm also had a 4 RBI day, including a home run. The Phils have tonight off. They'll welcome the Blue Jays for 3 games starting tomorrow night. The Eagles are heading into their summer break as minicamp has concluded. A lot of Birds fans will spend the time wondering about Jaire Alexander, and Adam Schefter talked about a potential contract for the free agent defensive back yesterday.
He wanted his freedom and choose a spot where he might not make as much, but where he would wind up doing a 1-year deal and keep his eye on free agency in 2026.
Well, we'll certainly be keeping an eye on him. The Pacers took down the Thunder 116-107 in Game 3 of the NBA Finals last night. They take a 2-1 lead in the series. We're going to talk to Jeremy Fowler coming up at 8:25 on that Jaire Alexander news. Kevin Negandhi joins us at 8:55. This update's also brought to you by Groundworks, your expert for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ricky.
Okay, great. Under the golden light, moon moving slow, feeling so right. Barefoot steps, rhythm in the air. In this summer heat, we don't care. Feel the breeze, it's lifting us high. We're chasing the waves. feeling so right there. Footsteps, rhythm in the air. In this summer heat, we don't care. Feel the breezes lifting us high. We're chasing the waves, touching the sky. Together we rise, no looking back. This summer vibe is on the right track. Summer vibes, we're feeling the heat. Dancing all night to the ocean beat. Under the stars, we're never alone. This is our time, a summer unknown. Oh, summer vibe. Okay, great. Under the golden light, moon moving slow, feeling so right there. Footsteps, rhythm in the air. In this summer heat, we don't care. Feel the breezes lifting us high. We're chasing the waves, touching the sky. Together we rise, no looking back. This summer vibe is on the right track. Summer vibes, we're feeling the heat. Dancing all night to the ocean beat. Under the stars, we're never alone. This is our time, a summer unknown.
Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. Get to our text messages later on this hour, as well as Johnny's little whispers about Bryce Harper.
Yeah, you know what? It shows you that maybe Kevin Cooney is even smarter than he looks. That's what I'm gonna. That's like my tease for
How
it.
about that?
Maybe he's smarter than he looks.
It's funny.
What's that?
I love your guys' relationship
Who, Kevin and I?
because he texted me on Sunday after they got swept by the Pirates. He goes, "God bless you tomorrow
God bless
morning."
you tomorrow morning.
And I said, "Oh yeah." And he
You know
goes,
it's coming.
And he said, "I can't disagree though." And
You
I was
know
like,
it's
I was
coming.
like, "Oh yeah, dude. Of course they got swept by the Pirates." Like
Kevin has a reporter's mentality that I appreciate very much, though.
Yeah.
I know that when Kevin comes at a story or comes at an angle, he usually comes at it from a reporter's angle because I
Correct.
know that he's intrepid like that. So it's good. But yesterday, I just had some interesting conversations yesterday that made me wonder, why am I not hearing more locally? We'll talk about it.
Would be interesting. Now let's get into this Alec Bohm thing. Again, if you want to text in at 610-632-0975, are the Phils back? If not, what more do you need to see? I saw somebody on our YouTube feed bright and early this morning.
Okay.
Basically saying, back, LOL, they stink.
No, but I understand somebody mocking
Right,
that
right.
question. I really do. I understand somebody mocking that question because it's too. They've only won one series
Yeah.
since the debacle.
Yeah.
So I understand it, but I also think that as much as you want to, if someone wants to reference the Pirates, you got to reference that they've won 3 series, 3-0 against the 2 best teams in the National League.
Yeah, and again, consider the source. I'm asking the question, and I didn't panic, right? Like I
we're-
groused, but I
Yeah.
never panicked.
And we also, though, don't believe that currently constructed this team's a World Series team.
Correct. Playoff team, yes. World
Right.
Series
World Series
team, no.
Not as currently constructed.
Get to work, Mr. Dombrowski. All right, so you noticed something with Alec Bohm yesterday and the fan base after he had a very good day.
Yeah, he had a really good day. So, but it was more early on was about the connection with Alec Bohm. And it happened first during introductions. And I was noticing that during player introductions, and you have Cooper and your lovely bride
Yeah.
at the game, so you're in a different
Yeah,
situation.
I'm missing all that.
They're introducing the lineup. And Alec Bohm got a smattering of boos during the introduction yesterday,
Okay?
which I found really shocking.
I'm not.
Okay, I did. Like, I was like, he's hitting 280.
Yeah, he's exhausting. He's exhausting. Though.
Okay, he is. The temper tantrums and stuff.
Like, it is
Okay,
exhausting.
There are a lot of guys doing a lot less, especially at the plate, than Alec Bohm's
Correct.
been doing.
Yeah.
So I'm really, I'm a little shocked.
But you know this city, once you get to a certain status,
I got you, but
You
I
know,
was a
there's
little
people that won't
surprised.
move off
There
of
was
it.
grousing about him during the player introductions. Then I'm going, oh, well, here's this player coming up, this player being introduced. The Schwarber cheers. Huge.
despite him being, 4 for
But-
35 before
Huge.
yesterday.
Schwarber's having a crappy month.
Yeah.
Huge cheers.
Now, hold on. I saw 3 I was in section 136.
Okay.
3 Cubs Schwarber jerseys.
Okay.
So
oh,
it
so
could
there
have
could be some
also
Cubs
been
too.
Cubs fans that
Could
were
be.
there.
But there was not a
because he's a legend there.
But there was not a smattering of boos.
Right,
There
right.
was
Gotcha.
Schwarber was getting love.
Yeah.
Absolute love. Trey Turner got a good amount of respect, and considering he's leading the National League in hits,
Yeah,
I
now
think that's
303 the
I
batting
think
average.
that's I guess deserved.
Yeah.
That's earned.
Yeah.
Right now you're getting the job done.
Plus, there's another standing ovation.
By the way, Nick Castellanos.
Stop it.
Nick Castellanos got a really, really good cheer.
Well, that's good.
He got really good
3
cheer.
years late,
Nick
but all right.
Castellanos got really, really good cheers.
It was hot out yesterday. Maybe he was a little bit more unbuttoned.
More unbuttoned, and the ladies were loving it.
Yeah.
I was surprised, though, Alec Bohm, when he was introduced, like first at bat, because I noticed it during the introductions, and I'm like, oh, and I met somebody else. I'm getting something to drink. And I met somebody, and I talked about it.
Yeah.
And then I meet the same person coming back, and they were like, boy, the first at bat introduction, did you hear that? It was almost like lukewarm. Third baseman, Alec Bohm.
Yeah. Just kind of.
I think there is a fatigue. And I was just saying, it was brought up to me, does he just not fit here? Or has he worn out his welcome here?
I think it's the latter, and it not.
But
worn,
I don't think he
worn
fits
out
here.
where he has to get traded.
No, but I
like,
don't think he fits here. Like, I don't think he's built for this town. Even though I hate it here.
Well, that's how it all started. Yeah.
Right. I think that he, from the beginning, was like, oh my God, this place is just murder. And I can totally understand how he felt. But you have 3 errors in a night. I don't know what you're expecting in that night, that game. But
Well, Mikey Miss pointed this out 2 days ago, or yesterday before yesterday's game. He struck out looking the other day on a strike. Like it was a clear strike.
Clear strike.
And he's slamming his helmet, and Mike does the whole, just blame yourself. Stop yelling. Stop throwing your helmet. I get it. It's out of frustration, but Mike's like, it's simple. You're the one that didn't swing the bat. You're the one that looked at strike 3.
Don't like it looks
Don't
like
start doing this whole thing like
the histrionics.
You're the only person to blame.
I think it's one of two things. Either people are fatigued
I think that's a big part.
or he just doesn't fit. I always say it, this town likes what it likes.
Yeah.
We like who we like. And we don't like who we don't like. And I wonder if it's gotten to that point. And when you hear over the weekend, just hear it. There's a difference when Alec Bohm's introduced. There's a difference when he is.
Well, it might change after a day like yesterday.
He had a great game yesterday, and when he did stuff well yesterday, he was cheered very loudly.
Yeah.
Very loudly. But just the introduction of him, it seems like there is some Alec Bohm fatigue.
Yeah, it's 6.
And I understand the fatigue, by the way. I'm not criticizing the people who are fatigued by it.
Right.
I am criticizing the people, though, booing. Like, there was a smattering of boos, and I say smattering. It wasn't like an overwhelming boo or anything, but there was a smattering of boos that you could hear it.
Right.
And I'm like, dudes,
So
come
he's
on.
played. This is his 6th season with the Phillies, 5th full season. And of course, when he first came up in 2020, he played 40 games and hit 338. So there was a lot of excitement. A lot's happened since then, right? And we have seen him come up very small in the postseason.
We have
seen the temper tantrums. We have seen the ice cold streaks. The way this season started was abysmal. Now the fact that he got his batting average up to what? You mentioned 283. That means he's going on a heater.
And Rojas got a much bigger cheer when he was introduced.
I
in
think
the
that's
starting lineup.
he's not Brandon Marsh.
Yeah.
But when Brandon Marsh got introduced as a pinch hitter, he got a.
Well, everybody was happy at that point.
And JT Real Muto, for God's sakes.
Yeah, people love JT.
And JT is stealing money this year.
Well, so
stealing money.
So when you bring up the doesn't fit, not doesn't fit, but doesn't connect or whatever.
Yeah, because something's not connecting right now with Alec Bohm, and it may be his own fault.
I think there's a lot of guys that, I hate to have the Philly guy conversation, but Trey Turner,
Not a Philly guy.
not a Philly guy.
But
Alec Bohm, no.
But the fans are showing Trey Turner the proper respect for what he's been doing, and to me, what Alec Bohm's been doing, it's been Trey Turner and Alec Bohm have been the most consistent hitters for the last 6 weeks.
Right. But you know how
So
this,
don't be
how
booing.
this city
So
can
don't
get.
be booing Alec Bohm.
Castellanos had a bad first year, and people still bring up he's not that great of a baseball player. That was 3 seasons ago, Alec Bohm had a bad month to start the season.
Okay,
and
but-
I think there are a lot of people that just can't get that out of their head.
But well, then you need to start watching the games.
too. You know
no, I
me,
mean,
I
I
agree.
know what you're saying. But I'm saying is that then you need to start watching games and be an educated fan.
Since May 1st, Alec Bohm in 151 plate appearances, so that's a big sample size, is hitting .333.
Like, to me,
and all 6 of his home runs, because he has 6 this season. Yeah, all 6 of his home runs have come since the start of the
I
day.
know you want more. And I think by this time in his career you should expect more.
Absolutely.
But right now, considering what you're getting from other players that you're cheering wildly for, JT Real Muto and woo! Are you freaking kidding me? He should be wearing a ski mask on payday.
I had a nice
and
knock yesterday.
they're cheering JT wildly, and Alec Bohm's carrying his ass.
JT, a good series.
Come
Five
on
for
now.
five,
I understand.
5 for 12.
I
Good
understand.
series for
the
backstop.
season. He's been terrible, and so to me, it's like you got to watch the games. Don't be booing like that. Again, at some point, I think it's just fatigue.
So why is it? That's something
And
that
part
we
of it
love
is
to hear
him.
about.
And part of it is him. Part of it's on him. So, but I just feel like, come on, people, you got to watch the games.
I see Chris Miller on our YouTube chat.
Hi, Chris.
What is a quote Philly guy? Still waiting for someone to explain that to me. I think it's just one of those, you just know it or you don't. Like, I don't think there's a definition.
It's the pornography. I know it when I see it.
Yeah. And again, I don't
like John Kruk was a Philly guy as
right,
a player.
Right. Like, I don't even like having the conversation.
No, but I don't either. But still,
Because
though,
I think it's dumb. But
it's obvious.
There's
You can
some
see
guys that just don't fit the city, but that doesn't mean they're going to be bad.
No, exactly.
All right. So if there's something to this Alec Bohm discussion that you want to chime in about, you can at 610-632-0975. So coming up next, we check our text line for the first time this morning after the Phillies take 2 of 3 against the Cubs, and John Kincade gives a little update on Bryce Harper. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, yeah, Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah.
Connor Thomas. We got a good amount of text messages on this Alec Bohm thing, so we'll get to that coming up in a few minutes.
I guess he's become one of those type of figures.
Yeah, it's not to the extent of Ben Simmons, but like I remember, like if I said the name Ben Simmons, phone lines,
Yeah,
text
people getting
messages.
excited,
It's
yeah.
it's there's certain athletes in this city that will garner some sort of reaction. But what you saw yesterday was interesting. That he got certain boos and maybe
just
there is
weird.
fatigue. Who knows? But nice day yesterday, and that should be celebrated. Just like the
Yes.
Phillies should be celebrated for taking 2 of 3 against a good baseball team in the Chicago Cubs. But before we get to any text messages, are the Phillies back or this Bohm conversation? What's sort of the connection with the city and Alec Bohm right now? You were down at the ballpark yesterday. I was down as a fan with my son and my beautiful bride, Christy.
A good day, too. It was a good crowd, right?
Johnny it was a
Johnny
great crowd.
Journalist.
Johnny Journalist was in
Yeah.
attendance as well yesterday.
Yeah, Johnny Journalist, and yesterday, just like a kindergarten teacher would tell you, the listening ear is on.
Oh, I say that to
And-
Cooper like 8 times a day. It's exhausting.
My wife still tells me, would you put your listening ears on, please? Could you? And I was hearing stuff yesterday about Bryce Harper. And people around the Cubs were saying, I guess Harper's just going to run this thing out and wait till the offseason to handle it. And I just am like, oh, okay. Like, okay. I'm taking it as like they know something. They're hearing something.
Right.
They've heard something. It says, well, I guess he's just going to wait till the offseason to handle it, but he's just going to have to deal with it until then.
And again, just in case people like, why would somebody from the Cubs know?
Players talk.
Players talk.
And
Hey, you're in town. You want to grab dinner?
And just conversations.
Yeah.
These guys grab beers,
Kyle
conversations.
Schwarber was hanging
Coffee.
out around their batting cages
Yes,
the other
yeah.
day because he
Kyle
knows
Schwarber
a
was-
lot of
yes.
the guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
there was these guys know each other.
Yeah.
And conversation was about, and then I was asked, so what the Harper thing? And I'm being asked, I'm like, I don't really know. I said, they don't tell us anything about the Harper situation.
Harper was the one that told us everything. That wrist injury, he's been dealing with it.
So I'm wondering, like, what's this? So I'm just speculating now, and this is total speculation, that this is something that Bryce Harper is. I don't understand why we haven't heard anything, because it appears that opposing teams know something that we don't know, or that we haven't been told. I'm wondering why we're not being told something about Bryce Harper's situation.
Here's what the team will say. We did tell you. We put him on the 10-day IL due to wrist injury.
Okay, and that's.
And Harper told you that he's been dealing with it in the past.
I guess that's for a year. I need a better explanation. I need a better explanation of how Bryce Harper had something from last May, dealt with it all last year, and nothing was done about it in the offseason.
Here's what's going to happen.
Are we talking about Joel Embiid here?
He'll come back. He'll play. He'll play through it.
He's
and then
nursing something.
And then you'll get the article from Jeff Passan in November,
That's unacceptable.
December.
That's bad. To me.
Bryce Harper has undergone some sort of procedure.
So that
He's been
means
dealing with it since blah, blah, blah.
So that means last year the problem existed. It didn't get dealt with last offseason. And this season got screwed because of that.
Well, the season has been screwed.
Yes, it is.
Why?
Because it's screwed right now. You're not having your best player is missing action for an injury that happened 13 months ago.
Yeah,
Well, he's
it
on
prob-
the 10-day injured list in
Right.
June.
Yeah,
Right.
but it was 13 months ago,
I got it.
and nothing was done about it last offseason. You had an entire offseason to do something about it.
Yes, you
and
could
they
be-
knew
say the
about
season's
it.
screwed, I think is
No,
a bit,
because
bit
you
too
didn't.
far.
No, because you could have dealt with it last offseason. You didn't do anything about it last offseason.
We all agree, but the
So, I
season's
mean-
not screwed.
Yeah.
But you could have. This season is being affected by something you didn't deal with last offseason when you could have.
Totally
and
fair.
you didn't. So you did. You messed up this season by doing that. You've affected this season because you didn't do something last offseason. I'm asking why. Why didn't you? You knew this was a problem
Oh, maybe
13 months
one,
ago.
maybe one opinion said rest would be best, which is what, remember, the Sixers tried doing with Joel Embiid.
Exactly. That's why I brought up the Embiid example.
And Embiid had a different opinion. Maybe, we don't know. Maybe the Phillies wanted Harper to get a procedure. Maybe Harper's own personal doctor said he doesn't need it, right? Like the Sixers team doctors, according to Shams.
And that does happen sometimes.
According to Shams, Sixers team doctor said you can play through it. Embiid's camp said, no, I need the procedure. Embiid eventually got the procedure because it's his body, right? Maybe the Phillies said, hey, we would like you to get this work done. Maybe Bryce Harper's doctor said, nah, he should be okay. And he's going to listen to a doctor. I don't know.
So what we do know is now, if that is the case, if it went down that way,
we have no, we're
we have
speculating.
no idea.
Yeah.
If it went down that way, he listened to the wrong person. He took the wrong advice because this team's paying the price for it right now. He hasn't been the same all year. We've been saying all year
Yes,
long,
that
this
something's
isn't
off.
Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like Harper. The power's not there. So we have been affected all year this year by Bryce Harper not
I will say, though,
being affected.
again, 2022, he's playing with a, torn UCL?
correct.
And I keep on saying it was the Miles Michaelis hanging curveball that saved the season.
And it did.
Because then Harper, who had, again, same story. It was same storyline in 2022. That tail end of the season, oh, man, his power, he's got no power left. He's got no pop left. And then all of a sudden he hits a moonshot off of Miles Michaelis, and then we know the rest of the story for Bryce Harper and that playoff run. You know, hopefully it could be a similar occurrence this year where
Could be.
a little bit of rest, and then all of a sudden he goes on a hot streak, and then we forget this conversation even happened until he has a procedure.
Now, according to Harper's own story, it took 2 months for him to feel better in the offseason last
Right.
year. I don't know what 2 weeks is going to do this time, or 10 days is going to do this time.
Could be precautionary. Who knows?
Well, I'm just saying. I would just look at it as this entire season, we have not seen Bryce Harper that we know. Bryce Harper has been affected. We've been talking about it on air, on all the shows. Doesn't look like himself. Just doesn't seem like Bryce Harper. The power's not there. Well, now we know he's been hurt for 13 months. And nothing was done about it. That's odd to me. And that doesn't seem like good baseball running by the Phillies.
Well, unless the Phillies did tell him to
And
do
they
something.
did. Yep.
Right?
And they could have.
Because
And
again, it's like the Sixers, and the Olympics thing with Embiid.
That's
know
why
we always go back to Embiid. Embiid was the one that said, I want to play in
And
the
that's why
Olympics.
I'd like an explanation.
Okay.
I'd like to know. I'd like to know an answer as to what it is. Now, I know we're not going to get one.
No.
Gosh forbid.
You'll get an anonymous
Yes.
story in November.
We'll get something after
And
the
you
fact.
just got to hope that Harper comes back and is effective in one way or another.
And if Bryce Harper got bad advice, that sucks.
All right, coming up next, we'll check our text messages for the first time this morning on all of our topics today. You can text in at 610-632-0975. And for the Eagles to repeat, do they have to do the exact same thing they did last year? History may not tell you that, according to John Kincade. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Lizardo bounces back. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update's brought to you by Wendy's. With Wendy's Breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles, you can choose the pair you want at participating U.S. Wendy's. The Phillies took the series from the Cubs, bounced back 7-2 win yesterday afternoon, and Jesus Lizardo looked like his early season self. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts. A couple adjustments with where he's coming set, and hey, it looked like it might have done the trick for him. Alec Bohm also had a 4 RBI day, including a home run. The Phillies have a night off tonight, and they'll welcome the Blue Jays for 3 games starting tomorrow night. That's their weekend series. The Eagles are heading into their summer break as minicamp has concluded. A lot of Birds fans are going to spend this time speculating about Jaire Alexander, who was released by the Packers, and whether or not he will end up in Philadelphia. Adam Schefter joined us yesterday and talked about what his potential contract could look like.
He wanted his freedom and choose a spot where he might not make as much, but where he would wind up doing a one-year deal and keep his eye on free agency in 2026.
We're going to talk to Jeremy Fowler coming up at 8:25 on that Jaire Alexander story. The Pacers took down the Thunder 116-107 in Game 3 of the NBA Finals last night. They take a 2-1 lead in the series. We're also going to talk to Kevin Negandhi coming up at 8:55. This update's also brought to you by our friends over at the Electrical Workers Local 269, the Electrical Training Alliance, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 269, NECA, and the Electrical Training Alliance can offer a career with no college debt. Go ahead and check them out. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
Texting, the easiest.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Jeez.
What?
People are funny on social media.
It's a scary place to be
It is
sometimes.
a scary place to
Social media can be a scary
be.
place.
Okay,
sometimes.
what color shirt am I wearing?
Salmon.
You say salmon.
Yeah, I'd say just pink.
I ate some last night.
Tony asked if I was wearing my Pride Month shirt today. I don't know. I'm shade blind. I don't know what this is. Is it like a soft?
You're wearing salmon. I don't know why
Not
that's
salmon.
pink.
Is it
I don't know why that's a.
Is this pink?
Why would that lead to the comment?
I have no idea. You'll have to ask Tone.
People wear salmon often.
I just don't. Because I never see you wear that color.
Some guys aren't comfortable in pink. Not us.
I like this color. I think it looks
Connor's got a
nice.
salmon suit.
I do.
Yeah, and he pulls it off well. Does he pulls it off well? Look good.
Sometimes other people do.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
That's
It's a whole nother issue.
wow. Well, what's it at Garage Bar when you put yourself on TV?
Might have been.
All right.
Might have been. Could be.
All right, what do we got on the text line on our Phillies discussion? In a few minutes, Johnny's going to talk about repeating as Super Bowl
It's going to make you
champions.
feel good. This is going to be your feel good Eagles topic of the day.
Or will it?
Yeah, no, it's going to make you feel good.
Okay.
Absolutely feel good.
What do we got, Connor?
Liam from Delco checks in on the Bohm thing and says Alec Bohm gives Reese Hoskins vibes with Philly fans. You either hate him or love him. You expect so much from them, and we don't always get it, and it could be disappointing.
Did people hate Reese Hoskins?
No, I think Reese is much
some
more.
people.
I think Reese
look,
is much more popular.
I know the frustration, again, of the cold streaks that he would go on, but I thought people loved Reese.
I think Reese is more popular.
Revisionist post bat spike. Pre bat spike, people hated that.
Well, yeah,
dude.
because he had the errors. He had two bad errors.
No, I mean he
in
had that, but he
series.
was a more popular player in
Yeah.
this town.
People loved the Reese.
Reese
Lightning.
Hoskins was more
I don't
popular
know.
in this town.
Folks were trying to run him off first base for years.
Well, yeah,
No,
he
no,
was
no,
at-
hold on,
because
hold
he was
on.
terrible.
Hold on. Alec Bohm literally said, "I hate it here." Like
Reese
1
Hoskins.
year
I
into
got
his
you.
career.
Reese Hoskins was literally the spokesperson for that clubhouse.
Yeah.
He
Right.
was the spokesperson.
Now there
player
may have
for
been
that
fatigue
team.
for people with Reese Hoskins as well, but I don't know if it ever.
Yeah, it
led
wasn't
to
like
I don't
Bohmish.
think it ever led to the point of hatred.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
All right, what else we got on the text line?
All right, we have another check-in on the Bohm thing where this texter says, I bleep and hate it here will stick with people forever. They'll boo him no matter what. Some people just won't let it go.
Yeah, but you know
Wow.
what?
I liked it.
I bleep and hate it here led to the standing. It was the pre-Turner standing ovation. He got because remember he didn't start the next game. I still remember this was what 4 years ago now. Was this 2021 or was it?
2020.
It wasn't the World Series year, was it?
I
It was
think
2022. It
was.
was 2022. I thought.
Whenever it was, he didn't play. He didn't start the next game, and then he came in as a pinch hitter. And,
I admired-
And he got a standing ovation.
I admired it so much that he didn't run from the comment. He didn't hide. He didn't try to backtrack
Yeah,
because
he got
so
caught.
He got caught, and he said it. He owned it,
Yeah,
and I admire that he owned it. I think that was a admirable moment for
Yeah.
Alec Bohm, and in the moment, I fully understand his frustration saying it, but I'm like, dude, be self-aware.
right.
You were terrible.
And he was self-aware after the game because he
Right.
got caught. But if anything, I thought that sort of like sparked a relationship between Phillies fan and Alec Bohm.
I think it was sort of cool for a while.
Well, here's the thing with Alec Bohm, as I see it, with the relationship with him. So the Phillies kind of quasi gave up on him when they started talking about trading him.
This past off season, they big time did.
And because of that, a lot of the,
multiple times. Remember, it may have been 2022. Didn't he start the season in the minors, or he got sent down early?
Was that 22?
I'll try to find it out.
Okay.
Yeah, but
they sent him down at one point.
I'm talking about the team like saying, hey, we are trying to move on from this guy because
Yeah.
of attitude issues, not on the field stuff, which is always an issue. The fan base is going to get on that. And that was the beacon of light of they're not running it back. They're going to move Bohm. They're going
Okay,
to make changes.
okay.
And now he has become maybe the poster child for some people of why this team still looks the way that they do.
That's a great point. CT18 point of the day.
Yeah.
We're
That
back,
is a
baby.
that is a Connor, that is a great point, and I didn't think of it that way. He may be getting the blame for this team not getting a more thorough makeover because they just couldn't move him.
Well, they couldn't move him because part of it was the attitude.
Right,
Remember,
but-
that
Well,
was
no,
the
I mean, it's
report
'cause
that
it's-
came
yeah.
out.
Whether it was or not, though. And don't we not like Nick Castellanos? And hasn't he been one of those trade target guys that could have reshaped the roster that never moved?
Yeah, well, his was also contract related. Nobody was
But
picking
Andrew and I didn't
contract.
want him.
Yeah, I didn't want him.
No, but I'm just saying these guys that give
Yeah.
you the opportunity to change up this roster, which is what this fan base has been dying for,
Right.
and are still here.
It's like
I think-
Tobias Harris. Everybody wanted to move on from him. He had the max
Yeah, he
contract.
just kinda stunk,
He had the money that could make it work. Yeah, but here's the thing: he didn't stink
didn't
in the regular
stink.
season.
Correct.
Much like Alec Bohm has not stunk in the regular season.
Tobias Harris is a better player now.
Okay, but then come playoff time, they both disappeared, right? Both
Yes,
of them.
yes,
Both
yes, yes.
Tobias Harris and Alec Bohm, it kind of
At
in
critical
lockstep.
times.
Yeah,
At critical times.
they disappeared.
You know, it was an interesting point made yesterday, too. I was talking to a member of the Chicago media who was asking me some questions. And he said something that I thought was a little question. He goes, you think they're going to let Schwarber go to free agency because if he does leave, if the price tag's too big, they need a place to be able to have Bryce Harper DH.
Could be. I mean, we talked about
He said
that.
they need to know with Bryce's injury history that he could just DH. And I really never really gave that a thought at this point in his time that they need a spot to be able to park Bryce Harper because of all of his injuries.
Yeah, it just sucks that you're going to lose. Like, Harper's still going to be Harper again at some point in his career, but
We hope.
he's not going to hit home runs the way Schwarber does.
No.
So you're going to lose in the power
If that
department, and Bryce Harper is a stellar first baseman. So if that happens, you lose Pop and you lose a first baseman.
I am completely convinced the Cubs are one of the teams you're going to have to that are going to run up the price on Kyle Schwarber that you didn't pay in spring training.
Yeah.
They're going to run up the price.
That would be concerning. All right, you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. And it is a Wendy's Thursday morning.
You are so excited for this, by the way.
I'm hungry, dude. Last night was basketball night. I don't eat much afterward.
So you earn your Wendy's.
Hell yeah, man. I love it. It's actually perfect. Some of us didn't earn our Wendy's.
I went to the gym.
So did I.
Like with Coach Carter.
Yeah, it was Coach Carter.
Oh, man. I don't play basketball with you. I don't text you. I'm the worst.
Yeah, you are.
Seriously.
You're a bad friend. First $50 gift card to Wendy's. Caller number 1-610-632-0975.
I think he maybe has a new friend.
That might happen.
He might have moved on.
And you know what? I'm not ready to live with that just yet. Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3 biggie bundles lets you choose your perfect duo from your fave 4, including a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee at participating U.S. Wendy's. We have 4 of these $50 gift cards. Number 1 goes out now at 610-632-0975. All right, let's talk some Eagles here to
Feel
start
good.
the second hour of the show.
Feel good, Eagles.
Tell us about it.
Okay. You know how you always hear about how hard it is to repeat in the NFL? And it is.
Yeah.
So this century, in the past 25 years, we've had 2 repeat champions. We've had the 03-04 Patriots, and we've had the Super Bowl 57 and 58 Chiefs.
Correct.
That have managed to repeat. But one of the things that we're talking about with the Eagles is, can they repeat?
Mm-hmm.
And with all the changes on defense, are they going to be able to do what they did last year? So I went back and looked at the last 2 repeat championship teams. And I got great news for everybody.
Please tell us.
The Eagles don't have to repeat. The Eagles don't have to be the Super Bowl 59 champion Eagles to repeat. They can be a completely different version of themselves. Because the Super Bowl 57 champion Chiefs and the Super Bowl 58 champion Chiefs were completely different. Because the Super Bowl 57 champion Chiefs were a team that is a completely different script than the Super Bowl 58. Super Bowl 57 Chiefs outdueled the Eagles with their offense up and down the field with a mediocre middle-of-the-pack defense. In fact, with one of the worst defenses to have won the Super Bowl this century. So one of the bottom 3. So they dragged a mediocre young defense that was learning as it was going on to winning a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Their defense wasn't difference-making, managed to beat the Eagles that day, but it was a wild game and back and forth and craziness. The next year, the script completely flipped. The Chiefs' offense sputtered. The Chiefs' defense came of age, and all of a sudden, Spags had those boys playing the way that the young guys won a championship the year before, learned their lessons, and they were ascending, and they were better than they were the year before. That team finished 11-6 because the offense wasn't getting it done. The offense with Patrick Mahomes and everything became quite ordinary. And so the defense had to carry them to a point and help them survive. So repeating as champions, it was a completely different tale. But when push came to shove, the Patrick Mahomes DNA was there.
Right.
The clutch DNA was there, which, by the way, we already know our quarterback has it. If he can get to those games, we already know our quarterback has shown us over and over again, he's got it.
Yeah.
He's got big game DNA. So this year doesn't have to be like last year. It can be an 11-6 script. And it can be a defense that isn't as good as last year. It can be an offense that's maybe better. Maybe the offense this year carries the defense a little bit, whereas the defense last year is the reason they won a Super Bowl. And I'm completely convinced.
Now, the one thing to point out toward the Chiefs and the repeating of Super Bowl champions, Andy Reid was the play caller for both of them. You have a brand new play caller.
That is the truth.
Who's never done it before. So in this, let's say we're going off of this example with the Chiefs. It was the first time it was high-powered offense, mediocre defense, and then it kind of flipped. If it were to flip this year, and that means the number one ranked defense that the Eagles had last year drops to maybe not middle of the pack, but
no, let's say it drops.
We said eighth.
Let's say
we
it
said
drops
eighth the other day, right?
Yeah, let's wait. And here's why I don't think that might even happen, is because the Chiefs' defense was really young that won a Super Bowl in Super Bowl 57 versus the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't as young as the Eagles' defense that won Super Bowl 59. Eagles' defense was younger, and the Eagles' defense was number one.
It was even better.
The Chiefs' defense that year was middle of the pack. So the Eagles' defense was distinctly better and younger.
Right.
I don't think the drop-off will be as big.
No.
It shouldn't be as big.
There's still going to be a top 10 defense, but if the offense has to get better, we have to see who Kevin Patullo is. And that's like a big question that we won't know for 3 more months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months.
Now, it goes back a generation because 21 years is a generation. But the 2003-2004 Patriots.
Also same OC, I looked it up.
They were carried again. The 2003 Patriots were carried to a championship by their defense. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't understand that Tom Brady was carried early on in his tenure to 2 Super Bowl rings. And the 2004 season when they played the Eagles in the Super Bowl in January of 2005, that was the first year that Brady emerged as an offensive force at quarterback.
Right.
So the 2004 Patriots, the offense became top 4. The year before, the offense was much more mediocre. The defense was great. And the defense stayed great in 04. But the offense then joined them. So things change about Super Bowl champions. I'm just telling you, I think that should be your feel-good thought of the day. And there's so many more of them. I dug up more for the coming weeks that are just going to give you good feelings about why you should feel really good about the Eagles' chances, and I'm using air quotes, their chances to repeat as Super Bowl champions. You should feel really good about
So this information that you gave us kind of goes back to why I keep on saying something about Jalen Hurts, and I believe that he can do it, but it may also take some time. We'll get into that coming up next. It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer. They play short here. Quinn Sullivan!
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready.
Teen here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on this Wendy's Thursday. We'll give away another $50 gift card at some point this hour. By the way, something really cool that we're going to be doing as a station coming up later this month. Join 97.5 The Fanatic for a live broadcast, which I believe will include John Kincade.
It will.
With Flyers leadership and alumni to celebrate the first night of the NHL draft, Friday, June 27th. This is really cool. 6 to 10 at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in AC. So for
Can't
a lot
wait
of
for
people that
this.
head down the shore, on the Friday of a weekend during the summer, if you're in that AC, Margate, Brigantine area, you can go right over to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Atlantic City. Tickets are $6 per person to commemorate the Flyers selecting 6th overall.
You may stop by.
Yes, if I'm heading down the shore, which odds are, I probably am. I'll see you.
I'm texting yesterday with. I'm very excited, and hopefully, as long as everything goes well, Jason Martinez will
That'd
be
be
with
really
me,
cool.
which is going to be great.
By the way, the $6 benefits Flyers charity, so it's not like it's
Draft
going to
night.
nothing.
We're going to have a great time, and it is going to be a great broadcast. Haley's going to be checking in with us too. She's going to be a part of things.
That's awesome.
We're going to have a great night.
Yep.
And because it is a pivotal night, 3 first-round picks for the Flyers. 6, 22, and either 31 or 32. And they have a bunch of second-round picks, too. 4 second-round picks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be so there could be movement on those second-round picks to move up in the first round with some of those other picks, combining them.
Yeah, they could be busy night one.
It could be a really, really busy night and acquiring talent for Danny Briere, because I think I do believe 2026, this upcoming year, is going to be the final year of the leg of the base stool. I don't believe this is going to be the big splash off season year where they're spending because I don't think the money's there to spend, where they're going and buying. But I do believe you could see them being very bold and aggressive. So we're looking forward to a big night. We're going to have a lot of fun down at the Hard Rock.
Yeah, the $6 ticket, again, benefits Flyers charities. It'll include a complimentary food voucher, including access to raffles and giveaways. Special appearances include Flyers Governor Dan Hilferty, Rick Tocchet, new head coach.
Yes.
And then some alumni as well, Mark Recchi, Todd Fedoruk, and more. Click events at 975thefanatic.com for all the information.
That's going to be great. Have you ever taken your wife to the steakhouse in the Hard Rock?
No.
Then you should.
All right.
It is a great spot.
I will make sure.
And I know
happens.
that the head chef, if he is still there, and I believe he is a listener to our show.
Oh, I love that.
So that is great.
Christy will get some nice chicken at that steak.
Will she really?
Well, she doesn't eat steak.
All
right. So
Hey.
you mentioned last segment that we've seen repeat Super Bowl champions, and they had to do it a little bit differently the following year.
Yeah.
So
is this a feel-good story or not? Did it make you feel any better?
It makes me feel better because I believe this can happen. But it goes back to what I've been saying. This year is going to be a lot on Jalen Hurts because they're going to have to score more. If history repeats itself,
Yes.
that means the defense takes a bit of a step back this year, and you're going to need the offense to do a little bit more.
Okay.
And if you just look at the opponents, there's going to be some games where you're going to have to be putting up probably upper 20s, 30s.
Oh, yeah.
In order to win those games. And if history repeats itself, Saquon Barkley, after running the ball as much as he did last year, maybe takes a step back himself. Not under 1,000 yards, but if he goes from 2,000 plus yards to 1,500, still a very good season, but that means Jalen Hurts is going to have to do a little bit more.
When you say he's taking a step back, do you mean him taking a step back, or do you believe that their approach to him taking a step back?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Okay. You can't expect him to have, because the way defenses are going to key on him, and after the way they saw the Chiefs play him in the Super Bowl,
right?
The Chiefs laid out a blueprint that if you want to try to stop Saquon, you can, but God forbid
you're going to give up 40.
You're going to get smoked. You're going to get smoked through the air because Jalen can beat you through the air.
Saquon Barkley rushed for at least 150 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
That's wild. Twice Rams, right?
Well, yeah, I was just doing regular season. But
you're
yes,
just
twice Rams. So 5 times in the regular season, he rushed for at least 150 yards.
It's incredible.
I don't know if he's going to do that 5 times this upcoming season, right? Like, I think he'll be around the century mark a lot.
I would bet under on that.
And so that means the games where he's rushing for 167, it might come down to 110, and that means Jalen Hurts is going to have to throw the football a little bit more. And I believe he can do it.
Sure you do.
And that's why I feel confident in it. But again, I think he's going to have to throw the football more this year, and it might take some time to really settle in early on. It's another new offensive coordinator. We saw it not be pretty the first 4 weeks last year. I have to, pinch myself to remind myself that sometimes. But it might be more on the shoulders of Jalen Hurts this year, and I'm excited for that challenge for him. I know that he can do it. I just don't think it's going to be as smooth at times like we saw it this past year with the ground game.
How do you think is it on the shoulders of Jalen Hurts or Kevin Patullo?
Both could be true. I would imagine more Hurts. He's the one slinging it.
Yeah.
You can't turn the ball over. Remember,
definitely go more Hurts.
Early in the season, it was the interception parade again.
Yep.
And then they went to the ground. So, Hurts, credit NFC Championship game, Super Bowl, he was very careful with the football, too. It's gonna have to continue that way, but also be a little bit more high-powered. So, speaking of Jalen Hurts, Brandon Graham, Eagle legend, spoke on the disrespect that Hurts always seems to get. He also talked about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So we'll play those clips for you coming up next. We'll react to it. We'll check our text line on the Phillies discussion that we've had as well. It's Kincade and Salciunas on this Thursday morning, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phils take the series win. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies took the series from the Cubs yesterday with a bounce-back 7-2 win. Jesus Luzardo, he also bounced back 6 innings, 1 earned, 10 strikeouts. That's much more like what we saw at the start of the year. Good bounce back for him. Alec Bohm had a 4 RBI day, including a home run. So the Phils are feeling good. They have tonight off, and they'll welcome the Blue Jays for 3 games starting tomorrow night. That's their weekend series. The Eagles are heading into their summer break as minicamp is concluded. A lot of people are going to be thinking about Jaire Alexander and if he could fit with the Eagles while they're on that break. Adam Schefter joined us yesterday and talked about it.
He wanted his freedom and choose a spot where he might not make as much, but where he would wind up doing a 1-year deal and keep his eye on free agency in 2026.
We're going to talk to Jeremy Fowler about that coming up at 8:25. In basketball, the Pacers took down the Thunder 116-107 in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. They take a 2-1 lead in this series. We'll also talk to Kevin Negandhi coming up at 8:55. This update's brought to you by Wendy's. With Wendy's Breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles, you can choose the pair you want at participating U.S. Wendy's. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Just the beach, the waves and Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me.
On Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on this Thursday morning.
It looks like it's going to be a beautiful hot day today.
Yes, it's going to get hot, and then it's supposed to rain like the next couple, right?
Yeah, but not the rain has diminished a lot, so it looks like you're not having a rain out weekend.
That would be nice.
Which is great for people.
Considering I'm trying to get down the shore on Father's Day.
Yeah, now you getting downtown on Saturday is a little different, but you know, you'll maneuver.
I'll figure it out.
You'll maneuver.
All right, we'll get back to our text line here soon. I know a lot of people chiming in about the Alec Bohm conversation.
Which is interesting that took off.
Yeah.
I got 4 DMs on it too. I'm like,
oh, really?
People are.
All right, I want to hear those DMs in a few minutes
I'll
too,
save it.
because John
I'm
just sort of
shocked
noticed
about
at the ballpark yesterday the smattering of boos that Bohm got
introductions
during introductions. Now, as soon as he does something good, people lose their minds, which good. I mean, they're celebrating the success, which is awesome. But yeah, I think it's just fatigue for a lot of people. You could text in 610-632-0975. But before we do that, Brandon Graham was on with our buddy Zach Gelb, who is another great Temple Owl.
Klein College, man.
Go TU, baby. We're everywhere, Connor.
And he's a Fanatic alum.
Yes, he is. He spoke with Brandon Graham yesterday on his show on CBS. And first, they got into the conversation about Jalen Hurts and sometimes disrespect. You'll hear Zach bring it up. He brings up the Chris Sims article, which we talked about this earlier in the week, where Jalen Hurts ranked 10th among all quarterbacks. Here was Zach Gelb with Eagles legend Brandon Graham.
Chris Sims was the author of this list, and he had Jalen Hurts ranked as the 10th best quarterback in the NFL. When you hear that, what's the first reaction that he put 9 other quarterbacks in front of your old quarterback?
I feel like, man, people just want to have hot takes these days, man. They know. It's all good. Hey, I hope Jalen keep that chip on his shoulder the rest of the way because, I mean, that's why I still got mine because people going to always have something to say and have their opinion, and that's why you got to – I respect it, but, you know, at the same time, they know they wrong because he won a championship. I don't care how it is. I mean, he showed you in that last game. Our running game wasn't – it still did some, but it wasn't the whole game. Jalen was out there, you know, playing that game against a great defense, you know, especially the DBs. People just don't want to give him his credit. He got to go do it again, maybe again after that. But I feel like with him, what I love about him is his focus. And he have his times where, you know, things get to you. So do we all. But it's more about, you know, making sure that he putting that good work and that good tape out there. And, you know, people don't really see what he does. And that's what's great. We're just going to go out there and go win us another one. And then you can say whatever else you want to say.
It was crazy that Chris
It was.
put him at 10.
Well, no, but again, he's engagement farming.
Yeah. And Brandon Graham straight up says that. There's guys with the hot takes. I think 5th is fair.
But you and I both agree that if it's top 4, we had no problem.
Yeah.
If he puts out his list and says, I don't have Jalen Hurts in my top 4, we're okay.
Mahomes,
we're not
Lamar,
commenting.
Allen, Burrow.
We wouldn't comment on it at all. And we'd say, okay, I can understand how he has that opinion. When you have Justin Herbert, who, by the way,
he had C.J. Stroud in front of him.
Justin Herbert, who has the 2 worst playoff performances this century. He's the worst playoff performance quarterback this century with multiple playoff appearances. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, why are they continue to just but the reason they do is because they've told you for years that this guy's the next great guy. He's the great guy because he has all the measurables. He has everything going for him.
Did you see what Bart Scott said on Get Up the other day?
Oh, he's another one. Don't get me. What I didn't. So what's with Bart? Bart is another one who's begging for people to just
He called
quote
the
him.
Chargers Philly West. They're going to be a better version of the Philadelphia Eagles because they have a better quarterback.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay, well
he
here's
thinks
what I will
he
say.
thinks they're like a Super Bowl contender this year, and it's because Herbert's better than Hurts.
Okay, here's what I will say. I do believe I respect the hell out of Jim Harbaugh as a coach, and I do believe that Jim Harbaugh is trying to build a team in the mold of the Eagles. So I don't think Bart is off base if he just took a breath.
Yeah, if he didn't do the whole quarterback.
But I've heard him do radio and he rarely takes a breath. So I don't think he's taking a breath. That's where he could have stopped right there and made a really salient point.
It's just amazing that I look at the 2 games that Justin Herbert's played in the playoffs.
No, he's horrendous. He blew a 28-6 lead at halftime
against the Jags.
It was 28-6, or am I wrong on that? Am I misquoting that?
Let's see. They lost 31-10.
But he was up
at one point. It was 27-7 at halftime.
27-7 at halftime. He led.
Justin Herbert, 25 of 43 in that game, 273 yards and a touchdown. So not a bad game.
No, the second half. He was horrendous.
But in the second half, he was horrendous. And then this past year, 4 picks.
Oh my gosh, he was terrible.
Like that's
C.J. Stroud thought he was terrible.
You can't compare Hurts and
come on
and Herbert when it comes to the playoffs. All right, BG then was asked about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and I think this is really good perspective to really listen to. Again, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson gets traded to the Texans. Howie spoke pretty quickly on it, saying, hey, I have to make some decisions that I know the fan base won't necessarily love, but it's because of money. And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, if you remember, he was live on, whatever, because he streams himself playing video games. He was talking about how it was a great conversation, blah, blah, blah. He played... He took the high road. CJGJ did.
He did at the time, yeah.
And then there was the weird Vic Fangio comment where he just goes, yeah, I was fine. It was all cap related. And that's when Chauncey Gardner-Johnson then went to social media and was like, all right, this wasn't cap related.
And I don't blame Chauncey Gardner-Johnson at all for talking about it.
And he now feels a certain type of way. Here was Brandon Graham talking about CJGJ.
CJ Gardner-Johnson, obviously, when he's been in Philadelphia, you guys have gone to Super Bowls. Now he got traded this past offseason. What was CJ like as a teammate, and was it all disappointing to see the organization move on from him?
Man, CJ, he had that fire and that passion. He brought it every day. It wasn't perfect all the time, but, I mean, man, you knew he was loyal. He was committed. I just know that we going to miss him. I hope that they soften their hearts, both sides, and then we just all move on because he's with a great organization with Texans, and we just want to make sure that we ain't out here because you never know how stuff comes back around. So, man, it's always good to bow out gracefully, even when you hurt, because sometimes it don't always go like you wanted to. Of course, we won. Want to kind of enjoy it a little more by being on the team this year, trying to make a comeback and do it again. In business, it's nothing personal. It's just straight, what it is. And they don't really have to have no reason why. They just running a business. And it's nothing personal. So I would just, for him, I love that he's showing his passion, but let's soften our heart. Let's move on because he's going to do something great this year, too. Can't wait to see him.
Only thing is it could have been personal.
And the one thing is with Brandon Graham on that one is that I do believe that I think the Eagles made it a little personal.
Yeah, it seemed personal.
Because I really do believe it would have taken 2 seconds. I always say to you, my line is it takes 2 seconds to be kind. And I didn't think that Vic Fangio came off very kind. I think Vic Fangio came off very dismissive of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I don't think it's a coincidence at all that he was a part of 2 defenses that went to 2 Super Bowls in his 2 seasons here. And is he a lot? Yeah.
Yes.
And I've heard stories that he's a lot.
I know you have.
He's a lot on a daily basis to deal with. Sure, that's cool.
But then you also hear stuff like how loyal he is.
No, you heard it from BG
yeah.
there. That it's not always perfect, I think BJ said.
Yeah.
It's not always perfect. But you know what? Is that it's okay. But when someone diminishes what you brought to the table,
yeah,
and I think that's sort of what Vic did.
I would feel
whether he meant to do that.
Yeah.
Whether I'm not sure that Vic Fangio meant to do that. It could have just been wording. Vic Fangio hates press conferences.
Right.
It may have just been him.
It's just how it came off. But
in
still,
a press conference.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson
hears that, and then he gets offended.
type of way.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor? By the way, great work again by Zach Gelb with that.
Thanks, Zach.
That information or with that interview with BG. What do we got on the text line, Connor?
Trevor from Percy's checking in on the Alec Bohm thing, and he's a little annoyed with it. He says the Bohm hate in this town is exhausting. So many worse players on this team that get love. Everyone loves a head coach who acts like a buffoon for a football team and unprofessional, but Alec is a problem. Give me a break.
That football coach
Is a champion.
And Alec Bohm is a guy where his attitude has gotten worse over the years, and there is legitimate fatigue. Like I'll be honest, like I get fatigued by my 6'5" third baseman hitting 10 home runs. Like that's, and then he's angry a lot and the slamming the bat, and like I know there's some people that go, yeah, I love that he shows emotion, but at some point you look around the dugout, you look around the clubhouse. There's a reason why he got benched in a playoff
And
game.
here's what I would say to those fans who are like, I love that he shows emotion. It's okay. His teammates don't like it.
Right.
So you may, sitting on your couch, be like, yeah, it's cool. His teammates, it was enough that he got benched in the postseason because of it.
Yeah.
So whether you like it or not doesn't really matter. It's whether professional athletes like it being a part of their team.
It got to the point where they tried trading him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty damning right there.
They want energy.
All right.
Positive energy.
Coming up next, something big happens today right after the show comes to an end.
Uh-oh.
I'm curious to see what we would pick. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We want to hear from you, so text us at 610-632-0975.
You text every day, so why not text us?
Your opinion matters. Shoot us a text at 610.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue.
Caller number, you want to go 7?
Let's go 7.
What else is new? Caller number 7, 610-632-0975 will win our second of 4 $50 gift cards to Wendy's. Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3 biggie bundles lets you choose your perfect duo from your fave 4, including a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee at participating U.S. Wendy's. Connor and I both going with the bacon, egg and cheese, and potato burrito this morning.
And you're going to wipe your face because the YouTube audience doesn't need to see that on the side of your face. The schmutz is, you can't get it with
Use your hand.
Oh, that's good work. Oh, that was good work. That was good
A
work.
little extra breakfast.
You ever eaten before?
That was good work.
Yes, I have eaten before, Connor.
That was
Have
really,
you ever eaten
really
a knuckle
good work.
sandwich before, Connor?
I feel like I'm going to next
Knuckle
break.
sandwich. What is this? The Three Stooges? I
So today,
ought to murder you.
10 o'clock, it is a big day for people for about 5 minutes.
Why? What is Mike Missanelli going to do? Is he just going to finally just attack that Ray Dunn?
Maybe.
Take him out?
We're all waiting for it.
Hey, what's going on?
The single game tickets will go on sale for the Philadelphia Eagles today at 10 o'clock.
Oh, it's not lasting 5 minutes.
Yeah, what, 2 maybe?
It'll be gone by 5 minutes. They'll be gone in no time.
All right, over under 202.5.
Oh, it's done.
I'm sorry, 202. 10:02 and 30 seconds.
People will be in the queue. Will be like 780 in the queue by like 10:01.
Yeah.
It'll be done.
Yeah.
It'll be finished.
So my question in regards to the Eagles opening up the single game tickets today, and I believe the rule is no more than 4 per household. So
Yes.
you can't
You can't
buy
you
50.
can't be buying games every game.
Right, and the entire section or anything
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
If you were to have a choice, now I know you have the daddy-daughter game, but I'm saying you, John Kincade, you have the choice. It is your call. Same with you, Connor.
Right.
And I want people to chime in on this as well. Text line 610-632-0975. You have the choice. We're not talking about funds. We're not talking about whether or not you get it in the queue or not, because it's going to be crazy. Somebody said, here you go, Mr. Kincade. I have 2 tickets. Any Eagles home game that you want, you just have to write down the game. What are you writing down?
Well, you want banner night. You want banner night. That's the game you want. You want to see the banner unveiled. You want to see the opening night. That's the game. You want to see that. You want to see the night that the championship banner is unveiled, because you may not ever see that again in your lifetime.
Yeah, are you picking something other than Eagles Cowboys Super Bowl banner night?
Yes, Eagles Lions.
That's a great game.
I would love to be there.
No, it's a
for
great
Eagles
game,
Lions,
but that's not the game. I mean, the
not
banner.
the game for you.
No, the banner night is the game. It's the game because you may never see it again in your lifetime.
I can watch the banner being unfolded.
Your grandchildren.
I can watch a banner on TV.
Your grandchildren might talk about the night. Hey, Grandpa, were you there? Yeah, I was there. The last time. Remember that? See that banner up there? I was there that night that they unveiled that. Well, why aren't there any more? Because we haven't won one since 2024.
Don't put that out there,
They
John.
won't be asking
Don't
that.
put that out there, John.
No, but I mean,
you're saying when I'm a grandpa, don't put that out
No,
there.
I'm just saying is that. But that's why you go to that game if you have your choice. Now, Liv, I told her for dad-daughter game, I said, look, Dad's going to work that night, so you can't pick banner night. What's the game? And she took Black Friday because now she works for a living.
Right. So this is a
And
strategic
she has off
move.
she has off that day, and she goes, wait a minute, Dad, I'm home for Thanksgiving anyway. So it's Black Friday. It's a 3 o'clock game. She goes, I know there'll be a couple tailgates we can hit.
Yeah.
I'm 21 now. I can hit the tailgate.
So let's go through this. Nobody will answer Eagles Giants.
Nobody
will answer Eagles Raiders.
I've warned you do not answer Eagles Commodes.
Well, that's your opinion, dude. I don't feel that way. Neither does Connor.
And I can tell you it's okay for you guys to be wrong.
Okay.
It'll be all right. We're going to get there.
I imagine not many people are picking Eagles Broncos. Right? Like, I don't think if a stranger went up to you with 2 home tickets to your choice.
That might be one of the weakest games, but it's a 1:00 game and it's still nice weather.
Yeah, which plays a and again, all this plays a factor into it because Liv picking the Black Friday game because she's off Thursday,
right? And
she's off Friday,
and now
Saturday,
working
Sunday.
for a living. She's being strategic.
That's a great decision. So this decision that you make does not just have to be based off of the opponent. Now I'm basing mine off of the opponent, the magnitude of what will be Eagles lines that later into the season. When we're going to start looking at who are the top teams in the NFC. That's going to be like a big game between those two teams because I expect the lines to still be good this year. But I'm curious, Connor, what would your answer be? Is it banner night?
Yeah, dude. So not even a second thought.
Second thought?
Were you there for the first one or no?
No.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was there for the first one.
It's an amazing night.
I will go to this one. Dude, I don't care about the Lions. I don't care about opponent. Like, hang the banner in the Cowboys' face. I'll be there.
Wow, it's that easy. All right, then.
Super easy.
I'm curious. I know we're not a big poll show here, but I think that's an easy one. That's not a swayed poll.
No, that's an easy one.
Which game are you picking? Put out.
I think it's a great game, though. I mean, what you're saying is the Detroit game's a great game. Like, that's going to be a game where we're strongly looking
all
forward
week long.
to.
That's like a build-up game.
No, I mean all season long.
Yeah.
That's going to be a game that we're talking about, looking forward to. It's going to be a huge game. And I think they play the Commodes the week before.
Who, the Eagles or the Lions? Detroit.
So, I mean, I think we get Eagles at, I think Detroit is at Washington.
That is correct.
So that is like a crazy thing. We get to scout Detroit the week before.
That's true. So if we were to put out a poll, I imagine Eagles-Cowboys banner night, clearly, because you guys said that in 2 seconds. Eagles-Rams would be one of those games that people would pick from. Eagles-Lions. And then the question is, you go Eagles-Bears before Eagles-Commanders because you think that game won't matter.
I'm warning people. I'm just giving you the heads up. Did you listen to me about the NFC title game last year that you had plans NFC title game weekend?
Now it's John's going to be chesty.
I'm just
listen
telling
to me when I said this?
Did you listen? Well, this is a much less bold prediction.
It is a less bold prediction.
So what I'm telling you is Week 18 is not going to matter to the Eagles.
So do you want to put the Eagles-Bears game on there, or do you want to put the Eagles-Commanders game on there as the fourth option for the handy-dandy Twitter poll?
You could put because the Bears is just Liv choosing that because of her own.
Yeah, but you're the one saying Eagles-Commanders won't matter.
I'm telling you, but no, maybe the people have a different opinion.
All right, so put that one
on.
They
can be wrong. We've learned that. People have every right to be wrong on one of these stupid polls.
We're never wrong here.
No. Or we just might not remember it.
That's true too. So exciting day today, 10 o'clock. I know it's going to be done in like 2 minutes, but
and then the secondary market will be flooded with those same tickets.
That's true. But I'm curious. YouTube chat, texters, callers. Tell us, if you had your choice at any of the home games for the Eagles today, as these single game tickets come out today at 10 o'clock, which game would you go to? Text us in 610-632-0975.
By the way, something we can get into. It's something I had for post-show headlines, but it is there is a SEC. They shelved it, but the SEC is hopefully going to put a new policy in place that they're trying to put in across the conference. That if season ticket holders put more than 2 games on the secondary,
I remember you telling me this. Yeah.
At that uniform, if you put more than 2 games on the secondary market, you lose your ticket.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think if any season ticket holder puts more than 2 games out on StubHub, Ticketmaster, whatever, if you sell your tickets, if you do more than 2 games
doing it for profit,
in a football season, you should be off the season ticket rolls.
I like that. I'm in favor of that.
Done.
All right, coming up next, we'll reset our topics. I want to know from you, where would you go? Ed Wright is the first one to respond on YouTube.
What's up, Ed?
He picked the Eagles-Commanders game, so he does not agree,
Ed,
maybe with you that Week 18 won't matter.
I'm warning you, Ed. It's not going to mean anything.
All right, let's get some responses on that.
And it's going to be because of the Commanders that it means nothing, too.
Correct. It's rumor season in Major League Baseball. We give you the latest reports surrounding the Phillies and a trade as we are 6 weeks away from the trade deadline. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Luzardo makes an adjustment. I'm Connor Thomas. This update's brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. The Phillies took the series from the Cubs with a bounce-back 7-2 win yesterday afternoon, and Jesus Luzardo made a bit of an adjustment with his delivery, led to a bounce-back start. He went 6 innings, 1 earned, struck out 10. Alec Bohm had 4 RBIs, including a home run. So the Phils are getting things going a little bit. They have tonight off. They'll welcome the Blue Jays for 3 games starting tomorrow night. Eagles are heading into the summer break as minicamp has concluded. A lot of Birds fans are thinking about Jaire Alexander and what it'll take to get him to be a member of the Eagles. Adam Schefter joined us yesterday to talk about it.
He wanted his freedom and choose a spot where he might not make as much, but where he would wind up doing a 1-year deal and keep his eye on free agency in 2026.
Well, the Eagles will be keeping their eye on him. The Pacers, they kept their eye on the Thunder last night. They took them down 116-107, Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Indiana takes a 2-1 lead in the series. We're going to talk to Jeremy Fowler at 8:25, Kevin Negandhi at 8:55. This update's also brought to you by Wendy's. With Wendy's Breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles, you can choose the pair you want at participating U.S. Wendy's. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah.
7:55 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Now, the problem with me like not looking at my phone ever
Is
I got a video from my nephew.
what did your nephew have to share with you?
Bashy was listening to the show.
What's up, Bashy?
So I don't know if he is still in the car with his mom, but if so, what's up, Bash?
Love that.
Miss you, little man. It's my guy. Love
Cool
Bash.
name.
Sebastian.
A cool name. That's
Sebastian.
a great
Wait,
name.
Sebastian, but they go Bashy?
Oh, I
Bash,
love that.
Bashy, whatever.
See,
you
I
want.
love
That's
that.
sick.
Yeah,
See,
it's great.
that is an awesome
Yeah,
name.
Bash is my man.
Okay, so did they?
Bash and Cooper tight.
How's Bashy?
He's a little older than Cooper.
Okay, that is
he
a
turns
cool,
4 this summer.
Connor, you're jealous now, aren't you?
Kinda. It sounds like a cleanup hitter.
That really
Yeah.
does.
Now coming to the plate.
I just hit
Bashy.
Dinger. I just hit Dinger. When he plays in the Little League World Series.
That's Big Al. Now put some respect on Big Al's name.
Shout out to my nephew, man. Love
That is awesome, Bash.
All right. So we've been talking about all kinds of stuff today. Eagles single game tickets coming your way at 10 o'clock. We have a poll up and running. John Kincaid's favorite thing on the station's Twitter
Well, there's
account.
nothing cliche in sports radio about the polls. There's nothing.
This is just
No, I like this
real
one. No, this is
information.
good. This is okay.
All right. Connor Thomas told me I was getting cooked. I just looked at it.
Okay.
Now, I may be cooked in terms of percentages from what you guys are saying, but at least mine's in second. Go ahead,
Okay,
Connor.
what is the-
give
what is
us the up-to-date totals right now on the poll. I know John Kincaid's favorite segment, this W's and L's and power ranking.
Oh, no.
Yeah, congrats on your 18.6% of responders.
Hell yeah, man.
75+% are saying Cowboys
You're
banner
getting
night.
cooked. Then
Well,
you're getting cooked.
But then I'm
how
in
do you
s-
spin this?
I'm in second.
How do you spin this any other way?
I'm not in third or fourth,
Wait a minute. How
baby.
many choices are there? Four?
Yeah, there are.
And 75% is
Which is
answering what
amazing.
you're getting cooked. That's cooked. That is a ass whooping.
Yeah, but imagine picking Eagles Rams.
That is BTA.
1.3% are saying Rams.
And
Oh
then,
my
you know what? It's
gosh.
funny. So if we took Cowboys banner night off of it, right? Is it still Lions 1?
Probably,
Because the Rams game, like, I'll be honest, like I mean, we lock in every game, right? So like, duh. But like with all the amount of nonsense that came out after that Eagles Rams game about
I
the
agree with
weather, like that's another
Like,
game.
I'm looking forward to Eagles Rams. I am locked into that one because I want to see,
Like Eagles Lions for me is the NFC Championship game that didn't happen, right? And that's why, like, and Amon-Ra St. Brown has been very vocal about that. Not to the amount like Debo Samuel and the 49ers, but
I think he's been a bit of a B.
no, he dropped.
I think he has.
What from saying if we were healthy,
If we were healthy, it's ours.
No, if we were healthy, we would have beaten the Commanders and we would have faced the Eagles in the NFC title game.
We know how that would have gone.
Is that what he said?
Yes.
All right.
That's a bit of a B. Shut
I don't
up.
think that's B.
Yeah, be quiet.
You know who's worse?
Now, how about this?
I don't
it's
say-
a big B. Quiet.
You know what was worse?
what?
Worse than any of them because they had no injury excuses. The Saints. Remember when Alvin Kamara and who was the other running back with Kamara? Oh my God.
Ingram?
Yes.
Oh no. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Melvin?
They talked as if
Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram.
as if they lost 12 starters in their game again. No, you just lost because of miracle at the Minnesota Miracle with Stephon Diggs making that catch. Like, you guys lost. You guys gave up a lot of points. Your defense gave up a lot of points. And they acted as if they would have beaten the Eagles, and which they may have.
Yeah, they
but
may
the way they spoke,
may have.
the way they spoke about the Eagles and that Super Bowl victory for the Birds, it was as if like nobody deserved it but us. The Lions won at least this year. There's the legitimate built-in injury excuse, and that's why I'm excited to see like the NFC Championship game that never happened. But Eagles Rams, that's a pretty close second for.
I think the greatest deal with the devil may have been that 2017.
Yeah, probably.
But the fact that we won again last year and that we went again in 20
statute of limitations
tells me, yeah, but I mean that was
Our
a
deal-
short.
we had a player option to get out of that contract.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't think
what
the
I-
devil gives player options.
No.
what I- yeah, I don't think he does either. I don't think he does.
Unless you're
either.
Johnny down in Georgia.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm telling you.
Maybe as a club option. He said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done picking on these Eagles fans. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. We'll also talked a lot about the Phillies this morning after they took 2 of 3 against the Cubs. Are they back? Are they heading back toward the right direction? Or do you need to see a lot more? And if so, tell us what you need to see. We've also talked about Alec Bohm and this
Alec
weird
Bohm.
connection. Explain again to the audience before I give you this Phillies trade deadline rumor, just sort of your experience yesterday.
Okay, so
Johnny.
yesterday down the game, and those who were in the building might have heard it, or maybe they weren't paying attention. You're milling around. So they're
You're
introducing
chasing a 3-year-old who wants ice cream and pretzels.
They're introducing the Phillies team, and they make the introductions, and it is a wild Kyle Schwarber introduction. It is a loud Trey Turner introduction. It is a loud, even Nick Castellanos introduction. And there was a smattering of boos when Alec Bohm was introduced. And I'm bothered by that. I'm being honest with you. I'm bothered by it. You get the right to do whatever you want to do. When you go to a game, I'm not going to be the fan police and tell you what you have to do. But I can tell you if I'm bothered by it. You do whatever you want to do. That if you want to do that, you want to go to a game and boo somebody. I don't know why you're booing before that game for the guy who's been one of your best hitters for 6 weeks.
It's the fatigue.
And then the same people are like, JT, we love you, JT. Woo!
I'll be honest.
JT.
When he got his first at bat,
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Because you know how you say our timelines are different, right?
Right.
How you say you see nothing but JT Love, and
Oh
I
my
go,
gosh.
I see the opposite. I will say, to your point, at the ballpark yesterday, his first at bat, there was the people were excited to
Oh
see
my
JT.
gosh.
Now the Phillies scored 3 runs in the first inning, so maybe
maybe part of it.
the excitement
Okay,
of a good first inning
And then-
kind of
But I
added to it.
So I comment. I go and get something. I go and get. I'm filling up a water jug, and I'm coming back, and I make the comment to another media member. Alec Bohm getting sort of a smattering of boos there as he's being introduced, and the guy's hitting his backside off compared to the rest of this lineup. And then the first when he comes up during the game, I hear it like it's lukewarm when he's introduced.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised. And they're still doing the Ayo, A-O-K, Ayo, A-O-K. And I'm like, why are you cheering Bryson Stott, for God's sakes, who hasn't done a damn thing in a month and a half?
No, they're cheering Ty Verdes.
Yeah, I was about to say, them singing the song
but they're still cheering.
Bryson
No, but they were
Stott.
cheering. They're still cheering, and they're singing the stupid song. I'm like, you got to pay attention.
The Vegas connection,
if you're booing Alec Bohm, and then you're cheering Bryson Stott, then I'm just saying you're just booing to boo, and you're not really watching the games. You're not paying attention.
Could be.
Or
it's fatigue. And that, I think
No, but the thing is, then you should be
fatigued.
fatigued with Bryson Stott. What are you waiting for? We've been waiting for Bryson Stott to emerge. We've been waiting for the guy. Remember the guy in 2022? He's going to win a batting title.
Yeah.
We heard it on the broadcast over and over again. This guy's going to win a batting title. I'm telling you. So we've been waiting for that, too. Nobody's fatigued by that. So that's all I'm saying. And Alec Bohm's defense has gotten much better
It's been
than
better
it was.
for the last 3 years.
Much
Yeah,
better
absolutely.
than it was.
All right, Jim Bowden.
Bowden.
He did it, latest, here's what I'm hearing for the New York Times about the MLB trade deadline. And there was a move of note that he had for the Phillies. And I find it very interesting that I brought this up to you like 2 weeks ago. I don't think Connor was back yet because we were.
I know I hadn't heard from him.
We were having the conversation about Cedric Mullins and how you were saying, he's not even better than what you have. And I said, well, what if it's Cedric Mullins and?
Okay. Now that's different.
Here's Jim Bowden yesterday. The Phillies front office is determined to land a dominant back end of the bullpen reliever, and I'm sure they will do so before the trade deadline. If the Orioles don't get back in the race, Felix Bautista could be the Phillies' best option to take over the ninth inning.
Okay, I am really all in on that.
He's a stud.
No, I'm all in. I'm all in on that.
Flamethrower.
And the thing is, if you have to take the only thing is, I don't think they'd be like you have to take Mullins because Mullins is a guy who is on an expiring contract. I don't think
No,
that
it's
they'd
not a
care.
have to take.
Unless they're looking to get a center field unless they have a center field prospect that they want to get up to play
Maybe, yeah.
and they want to get Mullins off the roster.
Yeah.
But Mullins is not a worse option than what you've got, but
He's just not who he was 4 years ago when the Phillies
he's
were
not.
first showing
No.
interest.
No.
But Felix Bautista, 6'8",
I love Felix Bautista.
flamethrower.
I'd be excited for Felix Bautista.
He's your closer. Pencil it in. Stop doing.
I'd be really excited about that.
Enough with the depending on the situation. Like, no, pencil him in for the ninth inning and keep it at that. Connor, your thoughts on that report from Jim Bowden?
In on Bautista, out on Mullins.
Well,
Like,
what if it's part of it?
Yeah,
Like,
remember,
if it's part of it,
sure.
you got a problem?
I know it was two separate trades technically, but like I always they made the two trades at the Angels. It was the Marsh Ohapi, but then it was Syndergaard, and who did they give up for Syndergaard?
I don't even remember.
Oh my God, this is bad.
That's all right. They
I'll-
traded
I'll-
for Syndergaard.
And I kind of looked at it that way, that it was two players for two players, even though it was within the same day, different times. If it's a prospect, two prospects for two starters, a starting pitcher and
Like if you have to take
outfielder.
Mullins, you're not saying no to that deal, Connor, are you? If you have to take Mullins,
I might think about it because Mullins, to me, does not get you close enough in the outfield. And if they move for Mullins, that restricts them from making other moves in the outfield. I need a bigger move in the outfield. And if you just go get Bautista, you can still do that. If you have to get Mullins there, then Dave Dombrowski's going to say we did something, and it's not going to be enough.
well, the only problem is this.
By the way, it was Mickey Moniak, not just some
Oh, yeah, that's
prospect.
right.
Mickey Moniak was
Wow.
traded for Syndergaard.
To get an
Colorado
impact-
Rockies legend.
to get an impact outfielder or an impact closer, aren't you going to have to part with Mick Abel?
Might have to, yeah.
I'm not.
I'm good with
not.
that.
I'm not. I'm absolutely not. No, not doing it. I'm not. Now, last year, remember, not a top. I believe again, Jim Bowden, I believe is the number. Not a top 86 prospect was not moved in
Yeah, because
baseball.
the MLB trade deadline.
last year at the trade deadline.
It's losing its fire.
Well,
So-
good news. Abel's not a prospect anymore.
No, but I mean, there was not big names moved. So you got players that were moved were not moved for
much.
much. Yeah. So I don't think you have to move necessarily, but I'm not moving Mick Abel. Nope.
What was like the big trade in baseball at the deadline last year?
I don't even think there really was one. Honestly, I don't think there was.
Because Soto was already with the Yankees, right?
Yeah, Soto.
Yeah, he
Soto
was
was
right.
already.
Yeah, that
Soto was
wasn't-
a Yankee all year.
That wasn't it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think it was a.
I'll try to look it up.
The almost Mason Miller trade that never happened?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
guess. I don't know.
Brent Rooker, all those guys with the A's. All right, coming up next, we have today's headlines with Connor Thomas. We have a busy 8 o'clock hour. Jeremy Fowler joins us at 8:25. Kevin Negandhi at 8:55. But it starts with today's headlines with Connor Thomas next here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
Mike Missanelli, Ray Dunn.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand. calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me.
You're on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We've been on the Phillies. We've been on the Eagles. We got a big football guest coming up at 8:25. Our man Jeremy Fowler, who is the one that broke the news that the Packers were releasing Jaire Alexander. So we'll get his latest reports on the available cornerback. Yesterday when we had Adam Schefter on, he kind of reiterated what you've been hearing, John. 1 year deal, maybe 1 year prove-it deal because of all the injuries he's dealt with the last couple of seasons, and he wants to do it with a contender. So it makes sense. The Eagles are a contender. The Eagles have a cornerback battle right now. Jaire Alexander is an improvement. When we had DeCecco in yesterday, he said they really like Keely Ringo, but Alexander's known as the better player. So who knows
Absolutely.
if they end up doing that. We'll speak with Jeremy Fowler from ESPN coming up at 8:25, and then our buddy Kevin Negandhi will be joining us coming up at 8:55. But first, it is time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Brought to us by who?
Of course, our friends over at Lundy Law. And for over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. They may need to help somebody out in our second story, but we're going to start with a finals check-in. I know we mentioned it, but the Pacers take a 2-1 series lead. Here's what it sounded like.
OKC's not going to foul. Now Siakam inside, and that will do it. Finishing touches. The Pacers dream of their first NBA title, very much alive. They're 2 wins away from a championship.
So I'll let you guys choose. Do you want to talk about the series, or do you want to talk about TJ McConnell?
Oh, why not a little bit of both?
Okay.
both.
I'm stunned that the Thunder did not continue to roll after Game 2, but it's the same thing. Game 1, they drove the Pacers nuts and yet could not finish. They had a lead again yesterday and coughed up the lead, and the Pacers come back. It was an incredible game. I had so much fun watching that game last night. And seeing TJ McConnell spark the Indiana Pacers. Again, I have no rooting interest in this series. I just want to appreciate good basketball. We did not get that in Philadelphia this year. So I've been loving these playoffs, as you know, John.
I know
so
you
I've gotten good basketball in games 1 and 3 of this series. I love when there's this spark plug off the bench. and you got that yesterday with TJ McConnell. But even more so, Benedict Mathurin. He scores 27 off the bench. But TJ got us started.
I like the fact that I like to see good people. Everything I've only met him once, but I've heard great things about him.
Yes.
So I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him. But
his dad, by the way, it was a great shot. He got fouled. It wasn't even after a basket, but it was one of those typical TJ plays where he out-hustles somebody, and then he gets fouled, and they cut to his dad just going nuts in the stands, which I thought was pretty cool.
And he's a classic overachiever.
Yeah.
He's just that classic overachieving
He's the guy that when Coop's growing up, I go, come on, look at this guy.
You could be
this
like
guy
him.
did it.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
He got it done.
If the Pacers win the finals, maybe TJ's dad will try and fight Shea. We'll see. Keep that tradition going for Indiana.
Maybe.
Coming up next in headlines. So I know we're
teasing.
I know we're anti-cowboy on this show, but I'm pro this cowboy. Are you guys familiar with the legacy of Cowboy Cody out in Kentucky?
No.
So this dude, he's gotten arrested twice in the last 2 years.
Well, I'm glad you're obsessed with his legacy.
For riding a mule around Kentucky and causing police chases.
Yes, I've seen this. Okay, now I have seen this. I didn't realize what it was.
What's his name? Cowboy what?
Cowboy
Cody.
And he's in legal trouble again.
Are you kidding me?
He got turned away from a bar, and he did the rational thing. He caught a raccoon and let it loose in the bar.
I thought that he actually at one time served jail time.
I think he probably did. He's letting a raccoon loose in a bar.
That's crazy.
He's been in jail before.
Weird things happening out in Kentucky.
I thought he actually did serve jail time at one point. I did see this.
So, can you imagine you're just sitting on a bar stool, you turn over, some crazy dude. He looks like a crazy guy, just lets a raccoon loose in there.
Dude.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're a big fan of his.
Got to stop that.
I mean, it's a hilarious move to be turned away from a bar and just say, yeah, you know what? It's raccoon time.
Yeah, he was turned away from the bar because he was apparently high on methamphetamines.
Yeah,
I had a southern neighbor. We would get them because the Chattahoochee River ran right through our neighborhood. And I had a southern neighbor who handled raccoons. And he literally could handle raccoons that he did not own, that he did not
he was
manage.
the guy that you would call to...
Yeah, but he had no fear of raccoons, and for some reason, he knew how to handle a raccoon. He wouldn't get bitten.
They're chill sometimes. I had to fight a raccoon when I bartended once. I have a bar raccoon story where I was taking away the outside patio furniture.
And they're hide for you.
It was in Philadelphia. It was Bourbon and Branch on 2nd. And this raccoon just comes strolling across the street trying to get in the restaurant. I had to scare it away with a broom. So,
oh, my gosh.
Those raccoons, they're tough on bars. We'll round out with a replay of what we started the show with.
Do you believe the Phillies are sort of back? If you're not at that point where you say they're not back yet, what more do you need to see?
Andy, I love you. The Phillies are not remotely back. We're not.
Oh, hold on. What do you mean you love it? I never said that they were back.
I know, but even posing the question after just like one series win, this team's supposed to be a great baseball team. And I know the Cubs are good, and I love the series win. They're not back yet. I'm exactly where Johnny was. Take 2 or 3 against the Blue Jays. Beat the Marlins
I need to see
series.
A string.
But the Mets is where, if they handle the Mets, that's when we start to say,
if they win the next 2 series and then beat the Mets, then I'm all. Then yeah.
And if they win the next 2 series and then lose to the Mets,
then not back.
Then everybody will then have a reason to say, yeah, I got my doubts. I had my doubts. That guy, Jim
from Cheltenham. I've been watching baseball.
No. Jim, who emails you, who says it reminds you of
Joe G.
Okay, Joe G.
Yes.
He would then be able to have a better case for you to say, yeah, you know what?
2012-ish.
Yeah, it's sort of feeling like it to me. He'd have a better case to make, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Just say. Let's see what happens. He's got a lot to say.
I'm getting the I love you, Andrew, but I never said they were back. I think
it was after your take on Banner Night. But it's okay. We got your back because we're a show here, right? Connor, we got his...
Eagles Lions is the better game.
We got his back, Connor.
Just not at basketball.
The banners for 10 seconds. Eagles Lions is the better game. I'd rather go to the better game than the better 10 seconds.
It's okay. You don't care about the Super Bowl. That's fine.
Yeah, that's where you got me.
You've moved on already,
By the way, Lions up to 22%, so I'm climbing. All right, coming up next, Jeremy Fowler from ESPN joins us. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
2 of 3 for the Phillies. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. The Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Cubs for the second time this year. They really needed it this time. Jesus Lazaro, they needed a great start from him too, and he gave it. 6 innings, 1 earned, 10 strikeouts. Alec Bohm, a 4 RBI day, including a home run. The Phils have tonight off. They'll welcome the Blue Jays for 3 games starting tomorrow night. Eagles are heading into their summer break as minicamp has concluded. A lot of people have their eyes on Jaire Alexander. His release, well, first reported by Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, who joins us next. But Adam Schefter joined us yesterday to talk about the potential contract for Alexander.
He wanted his freedom and choose a spot where he might not make as much, but where he would wind up doing a 1-year deal and keep his eye on free agency in 2026.
We'll keep our eye on that. We're keeping our eye on the NBA Finals as well. The Pacers took down the Thunder 116-107 in Game 3 last night. They take a 2-1 lead in the series. Kevin Negandhi will also join us at 8:55. This update is brought to you by Wendy's. With Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles, you can choose the pair you want at participating U.S. Wendy's. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Eagles head coach.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide.
It's 8:25 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on this Thursday morning. Going to be a hot one out there, so stay cool as best as you can. Yard work day for me on Thursday, so I'll be sweating out my Wendy's burrito that I ate just now, and it was freaking delicious. All right, so obviously earlier in the week there was the big news that dropped that the Green Bay Packers released Jaire Alexander. And being that he is a cornerback and a cornerback that is available and could maybe do it on a prove-it deal, our eyebrows go up because the Eagles currently have a cornerback battle between Keely Ringo, a young, inexperienced player, and Adoree Jackson, who's on the tail end of his career, which is why we're intrigued by the idea of Jaire Alexander. But before we even get to all of that, let's head to the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. Always love talking to this man from ESPN. Our man Jeremy Fowler joins us. Jeremy, good morning. How you doing today?
Hey, good. Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Let's start with what led to the release of Jaire Alexander. I know it was because of the contract, but any idea why both sides could not come to terms on some sort of extension?
So the way it drug out, it signals that the Packers were prepared to move on for a while and just couldn't find the cleanest way to do it. I do know that when they were restructuring his trade or offering him a revised contract, it was with the intention of trading him on that contract. That's my understanding. I think Jaire knew that. So really they were offering him a deal on a new 1 year that really, it wasn't terrible money-wise from what I heard, but it was a lot of, per game roster bonuses and incentives. Like the structure of it wasn't solidified, that a player of that caliber would want. So he kind of called their bluff and wouldn't take it. And so they figured, well, he's kind of untradeable at this point because nobody would trade for that original dollar amount of the $17.5 million he was owed. So they just decided to move on at that point. It's kind of unfortunate that it took this long, but sometimes players hold out for, potential trade or to make sure they're comfortable with the players they have at that position in order to make a move from that guy. But with the durability concerns and some other things, there were some whispers of some locker room stuff there with him a little bit. I don't know how true all that is, but there was enough there where the Packers are ready to move on.
So if he is traded, is he going to be a guy that demands a new contract wherever he's traded to, or would he be willing to come to a contender and play on the same existing deal he's got now?
Well, since he was released, he's
right.
He's
he can do whatever he says.
So
right. He's totally free. There's nothing to do with that. He can do his own deal.
Yeah. So he's a free agent. He can do whatever he wants at this point. And really, I do expect it to be a 1 year deal. I think it'll be a similar situation that he would have faced in Green Bay had they kept him.
So he'll not settle for. He's not going to settle for. If it's a 1 year deal, he's doing it on a prove it thing to try to say, here's my real worth for next offseason.
I do believe that's part of the strategy because he's only 28 years old, I believe. And I mean, look, this is a guy who's been a top 3 cornerback at times in the last 3 to 4 years. So I doubt he's going to take some small amount. It would have to be reasonable money. But, he was due 17. I think he knew he wasn't going to make 17 this year. So something below that, but definitely not under 10, I think would be my guess.
So, Jeremy, any idea on teams that are interested in a guy like Jaire Alexander? A lot of teams need corners, but I imagine because he gets to pick, being that he is a free agent, does he want to go to the contending teams? And are the Eagles one of them?
Well, I do believe intention with a team performance is part of it. Like I don't think he's going to a team that's really not going to be in contention. So I do think that's a factor. Talking to people that have been around him or close to him, that they believe loyalty is important to him, connection's important to him. That's why I do have the Eagles on my radar. With defensive backs coach Christian Parker was with him in Green Bay. They had successful years together. His former DB's coach is in Washington, Jason Simmons. I don't know how heavy Washington would get into it at this point. And then Atlanta with Jerry Gray, who was with him with the Packers. And, Atlanta needs a corner. So those are 3 I do look at as just from a connection standpoint, and I think those teams would at least look into it. Tampa's another team. I expect to look into it. Minnesota's another team as well.
Can you look at the with this offseason for the Eagles right now? We've been talking a lot about the revamping of the defense with the veterans that left. Do you think Howie is sort of content at the moment, or do you believe he's got his eyes on a lot of the shopping list?
I think it's both. I do sense that they're pretty happy with the cornerback room, and they like how the two guys you mentioned earlier, Ringo and Jackson, have done so far. And they got the draft picks that they brought in. They picked in a high slot. So I think they're pretty comfortable right now. This is not a situation where they have to press for Jaire Alexander. It would be more just about fit and is it something that could put us over the top on that end? So that's why Jaire, I believe, is at least in a conversation. And then, there's other corners too, like Asante Samuel Jr., who was coming back from a neck injury, but he was one of the top free agent corners. He probably won't sign until late July, I would say. But I do know the Eagles have thought about that one, and that's on their radar as well. Sort of those shifty corners that, sudden guys that can play inside and out, might not have long speed, but can make things happen in that short to intermediate range.
The longer these things go, how quickly does the price value start to drop? Like, I also think about a player like a Justin Simmons who has ties with Vic Fangio back in Denver, and he's still available, but I know he's available because maybe the price tag's too high. So the longer this goes, how much could it drop?
Well, that's the dance, right? Like, I think if you're a free agent and you have an agent that's worth his salt, they'll say you can take a bad deal anytime. You can take a bad deal in May or June. So, like, do you wait till training camp? Like, a guy like Justin Simmons, I can see him waiting because people know what he can do. And, you get to training camp. Sometimes teams get to camp and are even more uncomfortable with what they have at that position that they're trying to sign you on. Maybe a week into camp, it's like, oh, these guys aren't looking very good. So, or there could be an injury, a big injury at a place. Simmons is interesting because I think coming out of Atlanta, I do think he's looking for that Vic scheme. That's why the Eagles are on the short list there, because it's Philadelphia. It's Carolina has interest in Simmons, and Jaire Alexander came from the Big Fangio school. So that's where I think you should look with Simmons, and that's going to be important for Jaire too. I mean, especially these DBs, you're not going to go somewhere where you're unfamiliar, don't fit the scheme, and don't know the coaches most of the time.
Jeremy, we appreciate the time as always, man. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate your insight, and we'll be bugging you again down the road.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Hey, thanks, guys.
There he is. Good day. Jeremy Fowler from ESPN. So some insight there.
I think it's clear that the word's out that Howie's pretty content. But he'll upgrade. I don't think anything's going on with Alexander.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think anything's going on.
I just wonder how long he's going to be out there for. Like, our teams.
So you think that could change, you mean?
I guess, like, our teams.
Okay.
He's a talented player. I know the injury thing is legit, right? Like, he's played very little over the last 2 years, but he is a very good football player. So if this drags on, that's why I asked Jeremy the question about the longer this goes, do prices start to drop? And that is great insight that you can sign a bad contract at any point if you're a player.
That is, yes.
But also, like, how long do you want to wait? Like, are you Ndamukong Suh, who goes, whenever a team needs me, they need me. And
week 8, I'll see
the Eagles get him in week 8. I don't have to do OTAs. I don't have to do the grind of the regular season. Like, there is a strategy to that for, like, an older player. But Jaire Alexander's 28. So, like, what do you want to be, Le'Veon Bell? And then you sit out an entire year, and then all of a sudden you're irrelevant and you stink the following season?
Yeah, I can understand. I understand a lot of I understand where Jeremy's coming from there. And I think it makes a lot of sense. I feel really good, though, with Howie's strategy of letting this thing, let's let this thing breathe. Let's let this thing breathe.
Unless they think they need to improve right away, which maybe they don't. Maybe they really I know they like Keely Ringo, right? But to the point where they might pass up on a cornerback that became available sort of out of nowhere in the month of June? I don't know. I mean, they're the ones that'll tell us that. How many times have we said the draft could tell us what they think about certain players?
Well,
I think them drafting Andrew Makuba kind of told you what they think about Sidney Brown. But if they don't sign Jaire Alexander, or if they do sign Jaire Alexander, that could maybe tell you what they think about a guy like Keely Ringo.
Everything I've heard about Simmons, though, from the people that I know that watched him around the Falcons is that not special. Nothing they saw was special.
Okay.
I sort of think Howie would be looking for something more than just ordinary.
Well, even if he was special, they used a second-round pick on a guy
Correct.
that
Yeah.
people are saying could start there.
You don't want to set back your second-round pick's progress to bring in a guy who's a veteran at the end of his rope just to bring in a veteran.
Unless
Right.
they are worried about the young, if it's Keely Ringo and Andrew Makuba on the right side, maybe they go, hey, we need a veteran presence back there. I mean, that's why Vic Fangio straight up told you that Tristan McCollum is in the running for that job. He might want to have the veteran presence to start, considering how young Keely Ringo is. If that's what even happens, who knows? I mean, it's something to keep an eye on as this offseason continues. Training camp not till July 22nd, so we got some time.
You got 6 weeks.
Yeah, we got 6 weeks. All right, we got Kevin Negandhi coming up at 8:55 today. But coming up next, I'm curious. This is one of these I want to see what the people say conversations. We have a major story in sports that really won't be talked about much here in Philly because it's not in Philly. My question is, at what point do you start paying attention to greatness? It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Bo. Bill.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me.
Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Connor, give us a number.
Let's go 3.
Caller number 3, 610-632-0975. We'll win our third of our 4 $50 Wendy's gift cards. Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3 biggie bundles. Lets you choose your perfect duo from your fave 4, including a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee at participating U.S. Wendy's. Call number 3, 610-632-0975. All right, so question for you guys.
Okay.
Now, you know me. I am a sports nut that will watch teams outside of Philadelphia whenever, right? Like the Phillies play at 1 o'clock yesterday. There's nothing to keep me from watching Pacers Thunder, right? Like I appreciated the 1 o'clock start yesterday,
You did like
so
that.
I could just lock into the NBA Finals. I love sports.
Big sports nut watching
I'm
the
a big
finals.
sports guy, yeah. At what point does the casual sports fan or like the diehard Philadelphia sports fan that doesn't even give a damn about other teams unless your team's playing them, at what point do people start paying attention to greatness? And what I mean is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is batting .394 this season. It's June 12th. He has 25 home runs. So this isn't Luis Ariz, who hits around 400 that one year, but it's all singles, right? Like this guy's hitting .394 with 25 home runs. He's already got 59 ribbies, which is the most in Major League Baseball, 98 hits, which is the most in baseball. He scored 64 runs. His on-base percentage is .490. He is almost on base half the time this season.
So you're saying when do we start to? I think everybody who's a big baseball fan recognizes his greatness.
No, but so Tiger.
But we don't care.
When Tiger became Tiger.
Okay.
People who didn't really watch golf before started watching golf.
But
right?
Tiger is not the New York Tigers.
Okay. He's the Detroit Tigers.
No, Tiger is an independent entity. It's different.
All right, Michael.
It's completely different.
MJ.
But it's completely different. You can recognize the greatness of that. I don't put it there yet as far as that for baseball. First of all, baseball doesn't have the same cachet for an individual. Doesn't have the same cachet.
Yeah, but do you remember when Bonds was going for the home run records?
Right.
Right? ESPN used to do the cut-ins. Like it was Bonds is up to bat. They used to do the and it was like Bonds is up to bat in during Sports Center. So you'd be watching late night Sports Center and they would have in a ticker.
No, they used to cut into the game.
Right. Barry Bonds is on deck.
Because they knowingly
will take you live.
Because baseball knowingly put the charade together and said, we're going to act like we don't know that they're cheating the game. Bonds, Sosa, McGuire, we're going to knowingly act like they're not cheating the game.
By all accounts, Aaron Judge is not cheating the game. So at what point do people go, all right, I'm going to put on Sports Center and hope that the Yankees do it? Like, or that ESPN does a cut-in every time he's up to bat, which, by the way, they should probably do more of that kind of stuff.
Call me in September.
Cool.
Yeah, call me when it matters, yeah. It's June.
When it matters?
Well, no,
June 12th. He's batting .394 June 12th.
So you're going to tell me, we're going to cut in because he's batting .394 in June.
Yeah.
No. Nobody cares. Why do I care if I'm living in Detroit or Florida or Kansas City? Why do I care that a guy is hitting .394 and let's look at his at bat. Could he get to .396? Nobody cares.
It's the overall player.
Yeah, but nobody cares.
I wouldn't say nobody cares.
They'll say the Yankee fan cares.
Okay.
And they'll care when they see him on Sunday Night Baseball. But nobody wants to see his individual at bats on a Wednesday night in June.
Why not? He's currently the best player in the sport.
Well, yeah, but it's too early. That's the thing.
It's
Like
June.
September, yes.
Yeah,
like once we get
September.
to the middle of September, I'll start seeing where
Is
he's
he
at.
trying to hit 400, Connor, at that point? Yeah, then I'll watch.
Yeah, right.
Then I want to see it.
Okay,
No,
so
he won't
September.
be. But
No, but if he is, I'll absolutely want to see a cut in. If it's 2 weeks to go in the season and he's trying to hit 400 and he's hitting 403,
Like I think they did that with Joe Mauer that one year. They were doing
Could have
cut-ins
been.
every time he was up to bat.
I mean,
They did
Ohtani,
cut-ins.
anytime he steps out of the dugout, they do
Well,
it.
that's
no,
a
but I
little
mean
bit
that's
different.
like to me. I'm fine with it if he's making a push for 400 and it's the last 7 or 8 games of the year. Cut in all you want, and I'm there for it. June? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Who
but
cares?
okay, it's you and your who cares.
No, but I mean, like
Baseball fans care.
No, they don't. No, baseball fans are not in June going, yep, cut into broadcast to see. Here's his second at bat against the Twins because he's hitting 394.
At late night Sports Center. What instead of seeing a highlight from Twins Guardians, I get to watch Aaron Judge bat real quick.
No, I think more people would care about seeing what's going on in Major League Baseball and how it affects the whole league because their team may be in it. Their highlight may be in it. Their
highlight comes right after the at bat. I'm talking about a live cut-in that
Yeah,
last 2 minutes.
We're pre-All-Star break. Like
It's too
I'm not
early.
even there yet with him. He's having an amazing season.
He is. He's amazing
Having
player.
an amazing career.
I love the player. I
All right,
love watching
so
him.
instead of cut-ins, let's say the Yankees are on TV every week. Are you trying to watch when Aaron Judge comes up to bat?
I absolutely would love. I am not. I'm looking ahead to go. Wait, is he coming up this inning?
Okay,
Oh, no question.
All right,
I'm seeking it out.
doesn't have to be. I'm not. The cut-in was an example. I'm
Well,
just
no,
saying.
you made the
at
cut-in
what-
example.
I brought in the cut-in, but at what point do people again? Because this has nothing to do with Philadelphia. It's just sports. So like Michael Jordan, people wanted to watch Michael Jordan, and that wasn't a Tiger. That was Michael Jordan played for the Chicago Bulls. But anytime the Bulls were on TV, people wanted to watch.
I don't think
because they wanted to watch MJ.
I don't think Aaron Judge is anything close to the phenomenon that was Jordan. Not anything close.
All right.
First of all,
he's not there yet.
First of all, he's a baseball player. So that's one thing right there. Baseball player is not moving the needle at
Right, because
all.
he doesn't have the ball in his hand every single
Exactly.
possession.
And it's not
But I'm
the-
talking about the bigness. Like, this guy is...
Michael Jordan is, when you watch Michael Jordan in a game, you think of it when you were a child. When you watch Michael Jordan in a game, he's constantly in your face. He's constantly
Correct.
on camera. Constantly, you get that's why you have to have the cut-in to watch Judge do something.
I'm just saying, like, this stretch since 2022 where he's been, you go to his Pro Baseball Reference page,
unreal.
all his numbers are in bold because that means he led the league in it, right?
That's wild.
We're going to talk about this, like, 5-year stretch that he's currently on, like, 20 years from now.
As one of the greatest we've ever
stretches.
seen.
And so, like, that's what I'm asking. Like, at what point, like, Ohtani, I didn't want to miss anything last year when he was going for 50-50. Now, that was historic. That was a mark in history. I just wonder, like, I know how we are in Philly. Like, it's like, if it's not Philly, screw you, I don't care.
No, I think I was all with you. I'm all with you on the amazingness of it. It's when you brought the example to live cut-ins of his at-bats in June. So that's the only thing I got on you about. Nobody wants to see the live cut-ins in June of a Yankee at-bat. And by the way, people around the country have Yankee fatigue. The amount of people that tune off Yankee Red Sox, I don't want to watch
yeah,
it.
the Yankees, Red Sox.
So they don't
I
like
get it,
Yankees.
yeah.
Like they don't. They might like him, but they don't like Yankees.
Pratik checks in saying it's MLB Network isn't even on YouTube TV anymore. He's talking about how it's hard to watch baseball.
Right, it is.
He says Aaron Judge's season is the most overlooked thing I've ever seen in sports.
It's unreal. Thank God to have the MLB at bat app
Yeah,
and
you
stuff.
can just follow along constantly.
It's unreal.
All right, coming up next, star man Kevin Negandhi from ESPN. Another ESPN guest joins us next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A big day for Bohm. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies took the series from the Cubs with a bounce-back 7-2 win yesterday afternoon. Big day at the dish for Alec Bohm. He had 4 RBIs, including a home run. Big day on the mound for Jesus Luzardo, who went 6 strong innings, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts. Things are starting to look a little bit better for the Phils. They have the night off tonight. They'll welcome the Blue Jays for 3 games starting tomorrow night. The Eagles are heading into their summer break as minicamp is concluded, and a lot of Eagles fans are going to spend that time thinking about Jaire Alexander. Well, Adam Schefter joined us yesterday and talked about the contract that the now free agent defensive back could command.
he wanted his freedom and choose a spot where he might not make as much, but where he would wind up doing a one-year deal and keep his eye on free agency in 2026.
We'll be keeping our eye on Jaire Alexander and what he chooses to do. The Pacers took down the Thunder 116-107 in Game 3 of the NBA Finals last night. They take a 2-1 lead in the series. We're going to talk to Kevin Negandhi of ESPN coming up at 8:55 and a special guest coming up at 9:30. This update is brought to you by Wendy's. With Wendy's Breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles, you can choose the pair you want at participating U.S. Wendy's. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Vacation? Business trip? Don't worry. You can still hear all your favorite...
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me.
Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. You're listening to Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, BZ Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. And now joining us on the Comcast Business Hotline, our man from ESPN, Kevin Negandhi, joins us. Now, the last time we spoke with Kevin, John, was the day of the doubleheader against the Atlanta Braves when the Phillies split the doubleheader, but they won that series, taking 2 of 3. And then all hell broke loose. So because we haven't had a chance to talk to Kevin, let's go down memory lane and see how Kevin Negandhi is currently feeling about the Philadelphia Phillies when they then got swept by the Brewers, dropped 2 of 3 to the Blue Jays, and then got swept by the Pirates. Thank God for that series that just finished, Kevin.
Against a very good Cubs team.
Yep.
I mean, a very good Cubs team. And it seemed like it came full circle, fellas, with Wheeler, set the tone in that first game. So it's the same storyline, right? I think you guys have heard the themes. I'm sure you guys have talked about it. The guys that the middle-of-the-road guys that they didn't address in the offseason and they brought back, the Stotts, the Marshes, the Bohms of the world, are they carrying their weight? And that has been the big storyline, especially when you see guys like Schwarber that it's still consistent. Trey has his flashes. Harper is still, battling back. That wrist injury is a concern. So, can they hold their own weight? Now, Luzardo's stuff is promising because it felt like adjustments were made, maybe tipping pitches in those 2 starts. That's a promising sign that we saw, because I was more concerned about the wear and tear after the experience with the Marlins, and does he have the ability to go all season? But and another story too, the bullpen, the major issues that they never addressed in the offseason, they continue to haunt the team, especially when they hit the skids.
I can tell you, Kevin, right now too with this team it seemed like there was a malaise. I don't know if it's an energy malaise, a lethargy about them. And a lot of times people are like, well, it's a long season. It's just these things go that way. But I expect to see energy out of people at work. I don't know. To me, I expect to see people with a little bit of fire.
John, I completely get that. I also, as you know, it's 162 games. You're going to have some dog days. It is when you're compounding it in multiple series. That, to me, is the concern, right? Where there's no excuse what they did offensively against the Pirates. And I know Skeens is one game, but the others, come on, just no excuse. So that's the stuff. A series against the Pirates, the way they play, that's what concerns me, because that malaise is something that we've seen before, right? Where they're going through the motions and you hear the same themes, that everybody's trying too hard. I don't know. It is the same playback over and over again. They've got to snap out of these little ruts where it seems like no one can hit for 2 straight weeks, no matter who they're playing. I can't explain it. It's been hovering over the team for quite some time. And when you don't have the energy of the guy that brings it out all the time in Harper, everybody else has to step up. There's a certain way of being a professional. We've seen it before, but you still can have some energy, like you mentioned, especially against a Pirates team that's just not good.
Kevin, I'm curious. We had a conversation right before this past segment, before you came on, and I'm excited for your perspective because you work in the national media and you are also a sports fan. At what point do people start paying attention to greatness when it's not their team that they root for? We got into a conversation about Aaron Judge last segment, and this guy's hitting close to 400. He's got 25 bombs. I would love to get every chance I could to watch at-bats of his. At what point do you think people start paying attention to greatness? Either it's an at-bat or I know this guy's on TV, I need to watch it.
It's an interesting question you're posing, because especially in baseball and with Judge's experience. So, the other night, obviously that bomb that he hit the left, and you're just like, that thing is still in the air against the Royals, and he's batting 396, and you're like, holy cow, it's mid-June, and the dude's batting 396. That's when you're like, I'm excited. And then I was actually reminded by a Yankee fan. They're like, yeah, that's great. What are you going to do in October? and to be honest with you, that kind of summed up, I think, the approach and malaise that you have sometimes when you watch Aaron Judge with Yankee fans, where it's like, hey, it's great. Yeah, well, what are you going to do in October? Because the numbers suggest a completely different story. So, baseball is such an interesting aspect because, guys, we would be like this, I think, as Philadelphia fans, if we saw Joel Embiid
like we saw 2 years ago, go off against the Spurs and drop that 70-point night, and then I think the reaction was like, all right, we're still months away from the postseason. What are you going to do in the postseason, right? So I think nationally everybody's like, there's greatness there, but I also think there's a local fan base is like, all right, well, when it comes time to the postseason, we want to see greatness. That's where we want to see you step up and stand out. And so I take it with a grain of salt with the Aaron Judge conversation. The perfect guy, I think, is Ohtani. Like, whether it's the postseason or the regular season, the guy matches the moment no matter what. No matter what. It just seems like he finds a way to make an impact in the game and to get a big hit. We saw Freddie Freeman's phenomenal run. That can cover up a lot of things when you talk about greatness conversation. What do you do in the postseason? Are you performing? And whether that's fair or not, that's a different storyline, but that's just how we are in society. We talk about championships more than anything else, and what are you doing in a big moment? So I bring this all up full circle to Philadelphia fans. I don't want to hear about, well, Jalen Hurts did this in September and he's terrible. Well, let's look back at what he did in February. He was phenomenal, and keep that in mind.
Okay, let's look at the offseason the Eagles have had right now as they enter into their 6-week vacation now before training camp begins. Is this offseason what you expected? Not what you expected? Are you content with it? Do you feel good about where they're sitting? And how do you think Howie's feeling?
I think Howie's happy. I mean, especially if you have Jahad Campbell out there. And, I mean, Robinson's a beast. You've heard what Jalen Carter's talked about. I think Howie's very pleased. My curiosity about the whole thing will be, what does the secondary look like again? How does that front defensive front look now? Where is Nolan Smith in the next level? Because it feels like he's ready to take the next step. I'm curious about the offensive play calling and Patullo, and where do they land here with this offensive concept moving forward? Because we saw that, when you give the reins sometimes of just throwing too much, you can form bad habits. And we saw what Saquon did magically, right? So I'm more curious than anything else, but I think Howie's in a place of, I did all the work. Now it's up to the cooks to put the ingredients together, because I think the Eagles are in really good shape.
Now, Kevin, excuse me, we did not have you on last week. We wanted to give you some space because you had some rough times with the family. You lost your father last week, and we want to give you the opportunity to talk about him because, your family with this show. And what you texted me yesterday is a great story, and I'd love for the people to hear about it and you be able to, have the floor to talk about your dad because, as you said to me, he's the reason why you love sports.
Andrew, John, thank you for all the kind words. I honestly, and there were a handful of people, hundreds of people that have reached out through social media over the last week and a half. I've talked about it. Anytime I talk about my connection with Philadelphia sports, it's my passion through my dad. My dad came to America in the late 60s with very little money in his pocket. And as the first person in my family born in America in 1975, my connection to my father really was just Philadelphia sports. So when he would sit there and watch the Eagles and Dick Vermeil and Ron Jaworski, and I'm 6, 7, 8 years old, it's where I could have a conversation with him. And he worked his tail off 7 days a week to provide for the family and make sure we were established. But, man, his passion, he would yell at the TV screen. He would yell at Dick Vermeil and Jaws, and coincidentally, Jaws has become a good friend through the years. So I find that full circle moment for me. So he took me to my first Phillies games, my first Eagles games. He took me to my first Sixers games. So to me, my love for Philadelphia sports shines because of him and the spark that we had. I love that I could talk to him and educate him about, hey, don't get mad at Ron Jaworski. He did this. Don't get mad about Dick Vermeil. We did this. And, I could explain some nuance to him while he yelled at the TV. It's kind of like if you watch Silver Linings Playbook, the relationship with De Niro and his son, Bradley Cooper, and how you identify that Sundays are football for all of us in our family. as first generation, you realize you make those connections, and then you were looked upon as the same as other Eagles fans because you have a common bond. And I had that common bond with my dad as the, American kid with Indian roots with my father. So, he was in town in November, and he went back to India after, spending some time here in Phoenixville in the area. And we were all in Eagles gear, and every time we talked, it was, what's the update on the Eagles? When they won the Super Bowl, me and my brother called them, what's going on with the Phillies? What's going on with the Sixers? I don't understand, because he lived in India and he's trying to, grab all the information. So it was just, it's the thread and the common bond that I think many generations have in that town that we can't explain. In certain cities, they get it. Chicago, New York, maybe, you could make the case, of course, in Boston. Philadelphia is one of those places, and I think that's why we can all connect as Philadelphia fans to our passion and love for sports, and you see it on TV with me every night on ESPN.
And you passed it on to your children. And that's the most important.
No choice,
and that's
right?
the most. And that's the most. And what's great is that I say it all the time. My daughter thanks me all the time. Raised in a different city, and now she's a Philadelphian. But she said, "Dad, I've always been a Philadelphian. I may have been raised in Atlanta, but I was always a Philadelphian." And that's important. You gave your kids that, so you honored your father by doing that.
That's so important. And, to the point where, I'll come downstairs and my 13-year-old will be like, "Did you see what happened to the Phillies game last night?" And I'm like,
awesome. Is he your dad? Is he your dad? Is he sounding like your dad, though? Is he sounding like it skipped a generation?
There's a lot of high emotions, but I think he's heard his father on Sundays.
There you go. That's awesome.
I'm sure that helps. Now, Kev, we were thinking about you last week,
Thanks,
man.
Kev.
And, good to have you back on. Always love having you all, man. Stay strong, and we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate you, fellas. And by the way, I just want to pass on a message to many people that listen. Thank you to all the people that reached out. It means a hell of a lot. Words can't describe what it's like being a son and a connection that you have with your father. And he lived a very good life, and I was lucky to be his son. So thank you, guys.
Of course. You're the man, Kev. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
Take care, buddy.
All right, there's our buddy Kevin Negandhi. Tough week for the Negandhi household last week, and we were thinking, we didn't have him on last week.
That's awesome.
We were thinking about him.
That's great. I love it when people can get to the point, though, that they can then. He talked very joyously of his dad day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's great. When people can get to that point, that's awesome.
Absolutely. All right, coming up next, we're going to check our text line on today's topics. We have a special guest that's going to be joining us up at 9:30 that we will tell you about coming up next. Also, somebody set the bar for one of the more disrespectful things you could do from one man to another.
I'll text you back, I promise.
Wow. And you'll show up to basketball for once.
Was it not
Kincade
me?
Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
The crazy thing.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me.
Adam Schefter, just a minute ago. Remember, we were telling you guys about Shamar Stewart, the first-round pick of the Bengals yesterday. He went to mandatory minicamp yesterday, but did not participate because he's still not signed. He is still signed and not signed his rookie contract. He has now left mandatory minicamp.
I don't blame him.
I just how long does this take?
There was a. Yeah,
Do you remember
but
another
wait a minute,
time
but you heard Adam yesterday. Adam told us he didn't blame him either.
No.
For not participating because it's not. He's putting himself at risk.
He's technically not an employee of the Cincinnati Bengals right now. And his rights were drafted.
And he's putting himself at risk.
When's the last time you remember something like this where a first-round pick has gone this long to the point where he's not participating?
Well, here's the weird thing is that these contracts are financially slotted.
Correct.
So the financial terms are all the.
It's wording with other stuff.
This is the Bengals just being the Bengals.
And with that defense, what else is new? It's just crazy.
Incredible.
All right, real quick. Andrew Ellis on our YouTube chat chimed in
What's
about
up,
the Aaron Judge conversation we were having. He said, I haven't seen one Aaron Judge at bat unless he's playing the Phillies. Say I hate baseball or whatever. I couldn't care less following someone I don't root for. And that's why I said, I know a lot of people in Philadelphia that it's I care about my teams and that's it, unless they're playing them.
I think
nobody's saying that you don't.
I think that's the general.
Nobody's saying you hate baseball.
No, but I think that's the general reaction of sports fans. I don't think sports fans are clamoring.
Yeah, I know I'm the nut. I know that I'm the guy that's watching Skeens Alcantara on opening day the same time as the Phillies game. I know that, but that's why I'm asking the question. The person that doesn't necessarily care, at what point do you go, I'm going to start paying attention?
Well, I think it's one of the reasons why. I'm a wonk for NFL Network.
Yes.
I am not as much of a nerd for Major League Baseball.
Okay.
But I do watch MLB Network. I do watch their content. But I think it's one of the reasons why these networks have sort of failed. NHL Network, you can't even find.
Yeah.
They're barely on life support. NBA doesn't generate anything.
I also don't think NBA TV is all that good.
It doesn't. It's bad. It's a bad product.
Yeah. Like people rip ESPN's coverage. NBA TV's not.
NBA TV
not
is
good.
NBA TV is one step up from Wayne's World.
Yeah, anytime I put it on, I'm extremely bored.
But I mean, I don't believe these networks do a real good job of creating compelling content because I don't think people are clamoring for it. I don't think there's enough people that are clamoring for 24/7 Major League Baseball content. I just don't.
Yeah.
I think it's not the 1970s and 80s.
Right.
Yeah, there's too much stuff out there these days.
Right.
Yeah. But
Now,
but
football
on Instagram
forget
Reels.
Judge for a second. I'm saying if a guy's going for a record or if a guy's
when they're going for it,
Right.
yes. September, yeah. What Connor said, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
June, no.
what everyone who hit a home run on opening day is tracking to
You know
break
what?
the home run record.
No, I'll watch that. Who's the guy that's hit a home run in
Every opening day, I
7
forget.
straight
Someone
opening
for
days?
Baltimore.
Like I'm gonna watch opening day next year. That team because I want
Just to see it.
I want to see if he does it again.
Well, there's a case being made right now that one of the writers is making the case right now that Paul Skeens is the hottest rookie, first year pitcher to come out in baseball in 3 generations. And he's making the statistical case for it, and you can honestly make it.
yeah.
You can make it.
if
That
he's
he's that
if
good.
his game is nationally televised, I'm putting it on.
I absolutely want to watch Skeens, but I don't need I'll watch it when it's on. If I see Skeens is pitching, I'll flip to it and everything like that. That's fine. But I don't think that there's a clamoring for that content. I just think that's why these things is look. ESPN is going to buy the NFL Network
right.
if they haven't already. It may have already happened because I just don't think that people are clamoring for the content.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know why.
Unless it's football.
It's because they
man.
want shorter. No, but the NFL Network has failed. It's failed.
Yeah.
It hasn't been what they thought it would be. Rich Eisen is coming back to ESPN, right?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it's what's happened.
all right. So real quick, we're not going to spend too much time on this.
What happened?
The most disrespectful thing you could probably ever do to a man ever.
What?
Did you see?
Oh no!
What happened with DeMarcus Cousins?
Little scratch and sniff action.
That's terrible.
So DeMarcus Cousins is playing overseas.
We were just talking about him last week.
Yeah, that's right. He plays in the Puerto Rican Professional Basketball League.
Yeah.
The PRPBL, obviously. Everyone's a big fan of that league. And there was a heckler. And Boogie Cousins proceeded to approach the heckler while there was a little timeout on the floor. They were wiping up some sweat. Speaking of sweat, DeMarcus Cousins proceeded to, as Connor said, scratch and sniff. But instead of scratching and sniffing himself, he scratched himself and then forced the hand on the heckler to sniff.
Yeah, in his privates.
That may be one of the most disrespectful things one man can do to another.
By the way, I read this from a story here. That is considered an assault in certain states.
Oh, really?
Yes, but it's not. He's not on our soil right now. That's not one of them.
I wonder
Well,
what
it's Puerto Rico. So.
No, but it's not. Yeah, but he's not in one of the states where it would be
Right.
an assault.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, this is fake. This is that NBA Central. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, and he he shoved his hand in this dude's
he got in there?
face. Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, dude, I gotta look this up.
You got to go watch. It's
incredible.
No. It was.
He's a dirtbag.
It's one of the most disrespectful things I think you could possibly do to another man, where you're not actually harming the individual.
I don't know how bad the heckling was.
Right, we don't know.
But if you're going to a game and heckling somebody like that, you really are. You lead a very empty life. Your life is empty.
Yeah.
You gotta go home and look in the mirror and say, I gotta find something to fill my days. Because supposedly the heckling was borderline abusive from people who were witnessing.
Were there. Yeah. By the way, I'm sorry. I did not know it was the Puerto Rican Basketball League.
Yeah.
I just know he wasn't playing in the NBA.
But
So I said overseas.
Technically, kinda.
Yeah,
Well, no.
technically, kind of. But
Technically,
it's
kind
the
of.
United States
But
territory.
it was borderline abusive was the fans' behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So it was instigated not by Boogie, but that's disgusting.
Could you imagine He had to think that one through.
I'm immune. I can heckle Boogie Cousins. I can't smell.
I don't think you
try me.
Yeah, but you know what? You can feel, and I don't think you want the sweat.
You don't want the sweat
on your nose.
No, that's probably fair.
All right. Coming up next, we'll check our text line. There's more Sixers rumors to get to. But at 9:30, we're going to be joined by new Flyers head coach Rick Tocchet.
Wow.
There's your surprise guest. So Rick Tocchet joins Kincade Salciunas coming up next. It is Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phillies take 2 at 3 from the Cubs. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by Wendy's. With Wendy's Breakfast 2 for $3 biggie bundles, you can choose the pair you want at participating U.S. Wendy's. The Phillies took a pair from the Cubs. They took 2 out of 3 in the series with a bounce-back 7-2 win yesterday afternoon. Jesus Luzardo, 6 innings, only 1 earned, 10 strikeouts. He looked much, much better. Alec Bohm had 4 RBIs, including a home run. Phillies have the night off tonight. They'll welcome the Blue Jays in town for 3 games starting tomorrow night. Eagles are heading into their summer break. Mini camps all over, and a lot of Birds fans are spending this time thinking about Jaire Alexander and if he'd fit with the team. Well, Adam Schefter joined us yesterday, talked about a potential contract and what that would look like for Alexander.
He wanted his freedom and choose a spot where he might not make as much, but where he would wind up doing a 1-year deal and keep his eye on free agency in 2026.
We'll keep you updated on that developing story with Alexander's free agency. The Pacers took down the Thunder 116-107, Game 3 of the NBA Finals last night. They take a 2-1 lead in the series. Flyers head coach Rick Tocchet will join us coming up at 9:30. This update's also brought to you by Erie Insurance, celebrating 100 years of protecting your family's most priceless moments. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance, that's ErieInsurance.com. ErieInsurance.com. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5TheFanatic.com.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
27 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. And we will be joined momentarily by Rick Tocchet, the head coach.
22. And he's had various opportunities to coach. And he's gotten better at every spot he's been. So there's the positive spin on what Rick Tocchet's bringing to the table.
Yeah.
And he was the day he was hired by the Flyers, he was the top candidate in Vegas on the gambling boards for 3 different job openings: Chicago, Seattle, and Philly.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just like, let's go find an ex-Flyer.
Right.
Now, he realizes that. He realizes the challenge that he's got, and I don't think he gives a flip about it.
No.
I think it's just the job that he's got to do.
By the way, you can see Coach Tocchet at the casino.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
You got the Great Flyers event coming up on June 27th, day 1 of the NHL draft, 6 to 10 at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Atlantic City. The Fanatic and Flyers draft party. Tickets $6 per person to commemorate the Flyers selecting 6th overall. Proceeds benefit the Flyers charities. There will be a complimentary food voucher included along with access to raffles and giveaways. And you'll see Rick Tocchet there, as well as Flyers Governor Dan Hilferty, Mark Recchi, Todd Fedoruk, John Kincade.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Looking forward to that.
That'd be awesome.
It's going to be great. It's a very critical draft.
Yeah.
And 3 first-round picks, multiple second-round picks, and high second-round picks, too. So you may see second-round picks added to maybe pick 22, maybe added to pick 6.
Right.
To move up. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great.
By the way, critical draft for the Sixers as well. We have an update on the 3rd overall pick that we'll give for you coming up later on this hour. But now on the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day business is a big day, let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. The new head coach of your Philadelphia Flyers, Rick Tocchet, joins us. Rick, good morning. How are we doing today?
Good morning, guys. How are you guys?
Very good. Looking forward to a big season ahead, Coach, and the challenge you've got ahead of you. I'm sure when you had opportunities, we talked about it the morning you were hired. We were looking at the Vegas boards, and people were saying you were the favorite to get the Seattle job, the favorite to get the Chicago job, the favorite to get this job. Was there any trepidation about choosing to come back home over other jobs?
No, not really. I mean, obviously, when sometimes you're in good situations in your life, and you want to analyze things. And I did a lot of due diligence. I spent a lot of time with Danny and Keith Jones, and I really thought I love their plan. Obviously, I played in Philly. I love the city. I know I've been gone for a while.
Sure.
And you want to be a part of bringing hockey, like this success back to the Flyers. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s and 90s and parts of the 2000s. I mean, this is a hell of a franchise. So, like to get them back on the map and be part of the solution.
I imagine you choosing the Flyers also makes me think that you are comfortable with the direction that this team is heading. So based off of your scouting of this team right now, obviously with all the draft picks that you have at your disposal right now, what are some of the things that you really like about the direction of the Flyers?
Well, I think there's a lot of prospects in the prospect pool. Obviously, the Flyers have a lot of draft picks this year and next year. Next year for a lot of cap space, ton of cap space for next year for free agents if we go that route. And then even the core group of guys. I mean, if you look at the wingers, they got really good wingers, fast wingers. I think we got some smart centermen. Obviously, we got to show up the goaltending, but there's I don't know a lot about the depth of the goaltending, but I know there's some young guys in 19, 20 in the goaltending pool that are up and coming guys, and obviously the defense is something that with, like I said, a lot of defensemen and young defensemen in the draft pool. So I don't know. I just feel that there's a process they want to go through. I bought into it. I believe in it. I think Danny's done a really good job of kind of just building this slowly and where it's sustainable. Hey, guys, like you just don't want to try to make the playoffs one year and then you're out the next. I think they want to try to make the Flyers a sustainable product on the ice every year where, you're competing every year for the cup. And I think that's the goal.
Rick, it's important that, when you played for the Flyers and teams that you played on that won championships had an identity. How do you go about crafting an identity?
Yeah, I think that starts every day. I mean, you're just not going to wake up. I mean, it's every day as soon as you come in the rink that we're all on the same page. What's the process of it? I know I've been saying this the whole time that word process is the most overused word in sports.
Especially in this town. It's a dirty word in this town.
I know, man. I got to think of a different word.
Yeah, get rid of that word. Yes.
I know. I don't know what the word is, but it really is, though. I mean, like a player comes in there. That's my big philosophy. I'm trying to, and I'm in the process of hiring a really good coaching staff where the players come in every day and we have a goal, to get better every day. And that's how you create culture. And it's the way the Flyers play. I want us to be an intelligent team. That's the one thing that, if you look to be successful teams, you want to be intelligent on the ice. But you also, listen, everybody wants to be hard to play against, and playing hard against is just not about rough stuff. It's about, being willing to go to areas, being willing to block a shot for your teammates, just being willing to do anything for your teammates, and that's playing hard. So that's creating identity. And, you want the Flyer fans when they leave the rink. Obviously, you hope you win more than you lose, but that they're proud of their team, the way they play. And I think that's the goal of. And from talking to guys, I mean, I've talked to guys throughout the last couple of weeks. They're really excited of really putting a product on the ice where the fans can feel proud of them. And I think that's a big goal for us here.
We're all so excited to watch a pure goal scorer in Matvei Michkov, but I'm curious, what are you excited about to coach Michkov, and what are some of the things that you saw from his rookie season that you would like to really focus on in terms of his development?
Mm-hmm. Well, you want to get a guy like that to puck a lot. I've been watching their power play. I know it's struggled the last couple of years, but I saw some really good glimpses of when he gets the puck down low. He's got that ability to find people. He's thinking two steps ahead. So we got to get everybody in sync on that. Obviously, we don't want to put too much pressure on him. It's going to be his second year. He had 60 points. I mean, I think there's some games he didn't play, and he still had 60 points. So there's a lot of good there. I think he was talking about Kucherov as a guy that he really wants to emulate. Kucherov's one of the best. He's one of my favorite players in the league is Kucherov. And this guy works his tail off. I think Kucherov takes 2 weeks off after the season he's back on the ice. I mean, that's the sort of commitment that he's going to do. And I think when a guy like Mitch that's his kind of idol, it kind of makes me smile because that's the sort of stuff that he's going to have to do. And we can't put too much pressure on him, but I do like the drive in this guy. And we got to get him the puck. You know, when you have skilled players like that, you got to get this guy the puck as much as possible.
You know, Rick, Sports Talk Radio in Philly will always have these great helpful hints for you whenever you need them. You can just tune in.
Yeah.
We'll be able to help you out. But the power play has been atrocious for 2 years. So, one of your assistant coaches that you're bringing in going to be able to bring a different power play approach that's going to be able to help to bring some success for that or specialize in that?
Yeah, I think like for the power play for me, and I've coached it in Pittsburgh and some other stops, and you know it's you know you want to give your players concepts. You know, I think when you get in trouble is when you give them too many plays. If you watch the best power plays, it's very instinctual. You look at a guy like Connor McDavid. I know I'm using him. He's the outlier. He's incredible, but anytime Edmonton beats pressure, what does Connor McDavid do? He attacks. Like, there's no play. He just attacks the net, and then he uses a creative ability. And that's what I want our players to do. Like, when we beat pressure, we want to attack and then use your offensive talent. So that's a lot of practice. That's a lot of concept. That's a lot of meetings. And that's a lot of reps on the ice. And I'm going to put a staff together. There might be multiple guys that have had success coaching the power play on my staff. So I think we'll be well versed there. And I just think it's something that obviously to be successful in this league, and you have to have a half decent power play to win this league, and we got to obviously flip those numbers that they've had in the last couple of years.
We're really excited to be seeing you at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in AC for day one of the NHL draft. It's available for people to buy tickets, $6 per person to commemorate the Flyers selecting 6th overall. Proceeds benefiting the Flyers charities. And you get to hang out and break down draft picks with John Kincade.
Yeah, we'll see you there, Rick.
He might educate you a little bit, Rick.
I got some notes for him. I'll hand him some notes.
Hey, listen, I could use all the advice.
Oh, please.
But here's one thing. I want to see if maybe in the next couple of years we make it $32 for these tickets.
There you go.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think we do that.
I like that.
That's a great idea. Right after the parade.
That's the goal, boys.
You saw how much fun the Eagles had at the parade. I can only imagine you being the grand master of a parade. That'd be a fun one.
The city of Philadelphia, I'll put any of those major sports in Philly. Whatever team wins, I don't think there's the parades. The teams, cities in North America can outdo Philly. I mean, I've never seen a crowd that comes out. You know, you look at the Flyers in the 70s. There's millions of people. The Eagles. I mean, it's just incredible. So that's a dream that we want to make reality.
We're gonna have a great time. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks,
Look forward
Rick.
to seeing you.
We appreciate it.
Okay, boys. Thanks.
There you go.
There's Flyers head coach Rick Tocchet.
He is a good man. Good man.
He's excited.
I remember he would stare down because he was a player.
Yeah.
When I was doing video for a team, he would stare down Keenan. Keenan loved him.
Yeah.
Loved him.
Had that relationship. That's good.
He had no problem getting coached hard.
Yeah.
And staring him down, and they hated each other half the time.
Yeah. But they worked well.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Exactly.
All right, coming up next, we have one more Wendy's $50 gift card to give away. We have the key three. I have to give you this update on the Sixers and their 3rd overall draft pick. There's other rumors in the NBA which could lead to this wild offseason that is approaching. We'll get into all of this coming up next. It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care.
It's on the show. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Before we get to the actual sports stuff, Crossing Broad just posted something 6 minutes ago. Go ahead, go to their Twitter account.
What, the fact that we have a lawyer
No.
doing afternoon drive?
Nah.
What's the state of sports radio?
Yeah, it's
What?
somebody got a tattoo of Jason Kelsey on their forearm,
Oh gosh.
and which
Okay.
it's fine, but it's not of like Jason Kelsey playing football. Like, you know how Brian Dawkins, they have the Wolverine one, which is really cool. This is Jason Kelsey doing like the George Costanza pose in his underwear, but he's not wearing
Oh,
any
no.
underwear.
No.
And,
there's a bird where his bird is.
Yeah, the package is an eagle.
Okay, that's really weird. That's really weird.
Connor, why'd you get that tattoo?
I didn't.
Oh, that's not you?
That's not me.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any.
I'm just
Okay, do you realize that
curious by the
do you
inspiration.
realize that 99% of the people in the country will not know that that's Jason Kelsey?
Yeah.
Like 99% of people that will see that tattoo will have no clue that that's Jason Kelsey. That's crazy. I got a thing with I look, whatever you want to do. You want a tattoo?
Yeah.
That's great.
No,
get
I'm just
your tattoo.
curious by
But I would think the tattoo of I don't know. I'm not doing that.
I think it's funny.
I had this conversation with my neighbor yesterday. I have these bushes that I was doing the hedging. And,
Okay.
And he makes the joke of like, you should turn that into like an animal, right? How that there's have you noticed them around here, by the
Is
way?
it called hedging bushes?
I think it is. I don't know. Trimming, hedging, whatever. I have a hedger. Regardless, he made that joke, and I was like, I wonder how people decide that's what they're going to do? How do you even learn that you can do that? The ice sculptures. How does somebody...
They practice.
Yeah, but how do you start?
You watch someone do it.
Like, I don't have a block of ice.
No, you watch someone do it.
How does anybody start anything?
So how does anybody have that inspiration of that tattoo? Like, if it was just Jason Kelsey, that's one thing.
What did I tell you a few weeks ago?
I don't know.
What did I tell you about my financial guy? What did he try to get me to invest in?
Yeah.
The same guy who got me into weed stocks,
Yeah, smart
which
man.
I thank him very much for,
Yeah.
years and years and years ago,
Yeah, smart man.
got me to invest in tattoo removal.
Yeah.
He said it will be the biggest business in this country. Tattoo removal is going to be the biggest business coming. And got me to invest in that.
Well, that one, who knows if that one makes it.
Dude, that's like you're everywhere. People go, who's that? What is that? Like, no one's going to know
the
that.
what is that is more than who
No
is
one's
that
gonna
for
even,
me.
Yeah, but no one's even going to know that's Jason Kelsey.
I'd be like, yo, that's sick.
Someone
I think it's a
locally,
cool
somebody
tattoo.
locally will, but
God. All right. Real quick.
and what is the state of sports radio in Philadelphia? We got a lawyer doing afternoon drive.
We got the key three coming in a few minutes. So yesterday,
Have we ever gotten to the bottom of that?
No. Yesterday there was some interesting reporting going on with the Sixers and the third overall pick. Jake Fisher had a story where the Sixers met with VJ Edgecombe out of Baylor to the point where they flew out Tyrese Maxey to wherever the meeting took place. They had dinner. Like, it was a big production.
Okay, I like the due diligence if you like the guy.
Well, this is due diligence. Like, if you're bringing out one of your star players and all that kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden it's funny. So Jake Fisher puts that story out around 1:30.
Okay.
3 hours later, just in, sources telling me they're now having a meeting with Ace Bailey. I wonder if they didn't want that out, the VJ Edgecombe thing.
I think it's just that
I
they're
don't
doing
know.
their due diligence.
Nobody's jumping them to get VJ Edgecombe at 3.
No.
So now they're going to have the meeting with Ace Bailey, so something to keep an eye on. But yeah, I found that pretty interesting that they went
Well, it could be along the lines of, we want to up the market for people with that third pick because we may take Ace Bailey.
Right.
Even though I don't know that I believe they want him.
Yeah, we'll see what they end up doing. It's interesting. Now, one thing. So Daryl Morey, remember, basically said some teams won't be as good next year. Remember he mentioned the Celtics?
Correct.
And we were like, well, come on. How about you focus on your own issues before you start seeing other teams' issues? Shams yesterday. The Celtics are not looking to trade, but will be listening to trade offers on Jaylen Brown and Derek White. With this new, the second apron and everything that's going into the collective bargaining agreement, it's hard to maintain these players. And now all of a sudden, the Boston Celtics might have to part ways with some play. They'll already be missing Tatum for the majority of next year, if not all of it, because of the bad injury he's
No, I think he's going to be. There's no way he's back till.
If he comes back, it's playoffs.
I think they said April.
Yeah.
So that's playoffs.
And now
playoffs.
They're not looking to trade, but they will listen, and that's always step one. Like, usually it's just we're not going to trade these guys. Now all of a sudden they're going to start listening to trades, and I wonder if the Boston Celtics might be a much different team next year. Just something to keep an eye on.
Well, the Celtics could be a team that's really bad, like down near they could be a 5 or a 6, and then really dangerous.
Yeah, and then the very next year they get better because they acquire a player because the Celtics are good at that kind of stuff. All right, it is time now for the Kincade and Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show.
Now, the Kincade and Salciunas Key 3, today's best.
Johnny, happy, pleasant Wendy's Thursday.
And a good morning to you. How are you this morning?
Great. Phillies won yesterday.
They
Phillies took 2 of 3 over the Chicago Cubs.
And they're good, too, by the way. Like, really good road team, the Cubs.
Yeah, so.
And a good baseball team in general.
Phillies now 39-29, back to 10 games over 500 after taking 2 of 3 out of the Cubs. Nice crowd yesterday at Citizens Bank Park.
42, I think they said 42-5.
Yeah, for a Wednesday 1 o'clock game. Wednesday. Like, it wasn't a Friday business person special. It was a Wednesday midweek business person special. Nice crowd yesterday. So clearly people are still interested enough in going. It's just whether or not they believe in this baseball team. Do you believe the Phillies are sort of back? back to being the team, not that we expected to see, right? Because even though we pointed out flaws, pointed out roster construction, pointed out things that we weren't really feeling all that good about, I don't think anybody thought there was going to be a stretch where they lost 9 of 10. But they just won a good series against the Cubs. So do you believe they're sort of back where they're going to make that turn and all of a sudden things will get a little bit better? If you're not at that point, what more do you need to see?
I think next weekend's going to go a long way to it. If the Phillies win next weekend series against the Mets, take 2 out of 3 and look good doing it, I think a lot of people will be like, okay, win 2 out of 3 from the Jays, win 3 out of 4 from the Marlins, win 2 out of 3 from the Mets. I think everybody will be on board by the following Monday, and it'll be like, okay, that was a blip on the radar. And you know what? At that point, I would think everybody would be saying, yeah, okay, the bump on the road is over. The clutch DNA was there, which, by the way, we already know. Our quarterback has it. If he can get to those games, we already know our quarterback has shown us over and over again. He's got it. He's got big game DNA. So this year doesn't have to be like last year. It can be an 11-6 script, and it can be a defense that isn't as good as last year. It can be an offense that's maybe better. Maybe the offense this year carries the defense a little bit, whereas the defense last year is the reason they won a Super Bowl.
Our man Jeremy Fowler joins us. Any idea on teams that are interested in a guy like Jaire Alexander?
Talking to people that have been around him or close to him, that they believe loyalty is important to him, connection's important to him. That's why I do have the Eagles on my radar. With defensive backs coach Christian Parker was with him in Green Bay. They had successful years together.
What I'd like to just say again, it's sort of like yesterday when I brought up that the Mets a year ago were 8 games under 500 on yesterday's date and came back and whooped the Phillies' backsides in the postseason. We don't know what's going to happen in the second week of June, but you've already won the season series against the Cubs,
who are 14 games over 500.
You've won 2 series against the Cubs, who you could face in the postseason. They look like they're going to be a division champ. They are leading the Central. And you've won your only series against the Dodgers. So when we grouse about a sweep of the Pirates, which you should be embarrassed by that.
Yeah.
You got to bring up the fact that the division leading West, Dodgers, the division leading Central, Cubs, you're 3-0 in series against those 2 teams. You've won all 3 series there. So there is balance to the conversation that always will be brought up on this show. We will always talk about both things.
The new head coach of your Philadelphia Flyers, Rick Tocchet, joins us. Rick, good morning. How are we doing today?
Obviously I played in Philly. I love the city. I know I've been gone for a while. And, you want to be a part of bringing hockey, like this success back to the Flyers. I mean, it's a hell of a franchise. So, like to get them back on the map and be part of the solution.
That's why there's, to me, the misconception of, well, they can't beat any good teams. They only beat bad teams.
That's where that is completely false.
Yes, that great stretch of winning that they went on before the 9 of 10 that they lost, yes, those were against bad teams. But that does not mean that before that stretch they hadn't beat any good teams. To your point, Dodgers, Cubs, they won those series. And the Giants, who are 40-28, you split a 4-game series with. The Phillies are a better team, so we shouldn't totally celebrate a split, but they've played well.
I think split with the Giants is okay considering the team that they are.
Yeah, that's true. But they've played well against good teams, too. And that's why I keep on saying not only last year's playoff series against the Mets, but the series this season against the Mets where he got swept put such a bad stain on what the Phillies have been able to accomplish so far this year. People keep on pointing to that series as, hey, you lost that one. That means you can't beat any good team. All right, that's the key three best minutes from today's show. Dawood said I struck him out. You're a bad ump over there, John.
Dawood, you're out of your mind.
Andrew calls me Chunas Mesa. Out
of your mind.
I loved Jose Mesa with the gloves. You always had the different colored gloves. I appreciated that.
He had how many gloves? Now, here's what I don't understand is, though. Baseball players are the most finicky, would you think?
Yes. Sure.
Of all athletes. I never understood that.
Well, he went with the color, whatever the color jersey was.
Yeah, but he had I thought he had 4.
He wore the red with the Phillies when they wore the red jerseys. He would go with the tan, I think just the normal pinstripe.
Like the cream.
Yeah.
I love
I know he wore blue because...
he had the blue.
Who else did he pick?
I know he had the blue.
He had
Well, he had with the Indians, right?
Well, yeah,
Dodgers?
and he wore the red with the Indians, but... Wow, it's interesting. I never noticed this before. If you go to a guy's Jose Mesa stat sheet,
they show you all.
It now says Guardians.
Oh, really? It has Guardians?
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
I never knew
he
that.
didn't play for the Guardians.
I never knew that.
He never once played for the Guardians.
It's like not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal.
It is a big deal.
I'm just surprised that I've never seen it.
John
Certainly not.
John Riggins never played for the Washington Commanders. Never played for the Commanders.
Okay.
No, I mean it's the history because it's the history of a franchise.
Yeah, but I think everybody knows at this point who the Guardians are.
I understand, but it's the history of a franchise.
I know. I'm just saying.
The history of a franchise matters. We're not changing the history. It's who we played for.
I'm surprised. It's ridiculous.
No, it is. It is ridiculous. The Guardians aren't in the World Series. He's not a Cleveland Guardian, for God's sakes. My gosh.
You know who are Guardians?
Let's change.
People who take care of cancer research.
Yeah, like
those
FT
are
Young,
Guardians.
Like FT Young Heating and Air Conditioning. Really, the Guardians are the American Association for Cancer Research. 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. They're the best because cancer research saves lives.
All right, everybody have a
They're the
great
best.
rest of your day. Mike Missanelli Show with Ray Dunn comes your way next.
And Amy Fedor.
That's right. Oh my God, it's Thursday already.
She's in the house.
That means tomorrow's Friday already, Johnny.
You know Mike is extra on his toes today.
He better be.
This is going to be fun.
All right, everybody have a great rest of your day. Mike and Amy come your way next. It's Kincade and Salciunas. We'll be back